Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd.
Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reetz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reetz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue.
Hey, go wake up, baby. It's a Chelsea day. So blue, baby, that's cheering pain. Talking dreams while the sky stays bright. Rest your head, but not the night. Every morning, every go we see. In our hearts, it's Chelsea, me and you, we can dream. Oh, take me out and stand with you, privilege you talk. When to tap by, take it you. Oh, Chelsea, we stand tall. We stand tall. Everywhere we give our all. Everywhere, yeah. Forever we're true. We must be. Together we rise, just me and you. In nights that you will go home, for Yahweh so near to my home. It will like so deep in river. Whoa, whoa. In the blue, our spirits fly. With every cheer, we touch the sky. In this love, we find our way. Chelsea forever, day by day. Whoa, Chelsea, Chelsea stands on. Cover up with the hand. We give our all. Chelsea, forever we're true. Together we rise, just me and you. Hey, go wake up, baby. It's a Chelsea day. So blue, baby, that's cheering pain. Talking dreams while the sky stays bright. Rest your head, but not the night. Every morning, every go we see. In our hearts, it's Chelsea, me and you, we can dream. Oh, take me out and stand with you, privilege you talk. When to tap by, take it you. Oh, Chelsea, we stand tall. We stand tall. Everywhere we give our all.
nights that you were gone, for you always so near my own. You were like so deep in river. Whoa, whoa. In the blue, our spirits fly. With every cheer, we touch the sky. In this love, we find our way. Chelsea forever, day by day. Whoa, Chelsea, Chelsea stands tall. Cover up with the hand. We give our all. Chelsea, forever but true. Together we rise, just me and you. Hey, go wake up, baby. It's a Chelsea day. So blue, baby, that's chipping pain. Talking dreams while the sky stays bright. Rest your head, but not the night. Every morning, every goal we see. In our hearts, it's Chelsea, me and you, we can agree. Oh, take me out and stand with you, privilege you talk. When to tap by taking you. Oh, Chelsea, we stand tall. We stand tall. Everywhere we give our all. Everywhere, yeah. Forever but true. We must be. Together we rise, just me and you. In nights that you were gone, for you always so near to my own. It was
All right, what's going on here? Yes, people, big up to all of you. Hopefully, you can hear me. I'm not sure why my camera is not transmitting, but yeah, if you can hear me, I know it will fix by itself. I've been struggling with it for 2 days now. And when moving to Texas, I lost one of my cameras. I've not been able to recover it from the moving company. But that's by the way, we're here to talk about Manchester City 1, Chelsea 1 at the Etihad, and nobody gave us a chance. Once again, football proves that it's a game that you just cannot script. Yeah, it's a game that's played over 90 minutes plus added time, irrespective of the disparity in quality between the two teams that are playing. But that's by the way, we'll also talk about Liam Rosenior. Is that how you pronounce that name? But that's by the way, once again, I do hope you all are doing well. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Apologies that we haven't held the Blue Morning show for how many days now? 3 days now, due to the camera issues. We're working on it. If I'm not able to fix it, I'll order one as early as tomorrow morning to be sure we're ready to stream as soon as possible. Yeah, but because this is a period where we should be streaming and streaming consistently, it's looking like I'm going to have a hard time getting it to work properly. Hopefully, somebody joins me on the panel so that I'll be able to find a solution to it. Anyway, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. How many likes do we have now? We have it is just dangly slow. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is the case. How many likes do we have now? We have just 8 likes. We can do a lot better than that. But once again, I do appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. It's still 5:16 p.m. EST for me. And once again, we're here to talk about the game at Etihad where we got a draw and could have won it. And numbers show we weren't lucky. We got what we deserved. Could have, you could say, even if we won, yeah, it'd still be a deserved result for us. But that's, by the way, the first person here in Cold Palmer. Sorry, my system, I have a lot of issues with it right now. I'm not sure how I'm going to cope with it. Let me see what he says here. He says, Callum, a good, is that a good coach? Callum, a good coach. He didn't play. I'm not sure what he's saying. What he says there. The next one, and then that's Mod Mana there. And here we go. Big up to you, to Mabasta05. Hopefully, Chelsea will smash Fulham away on Wednesday. Up to Charles. Keep the blue flag flying high. Thank you for joining the conversation as always, my bro. And I have two bros, even though they say bros before hoes, two bros in the chat cooking me. You just came here to come cook me, right? Calum Marino McFarlane, ball masterclass incoming. He did well, didn't look out of place, and I'm happy. The leadership, it's a group in the team helped him, like he did say during his pre-game and post-game presser. I think that did go a long way, in my opinion. But more importantly, you cannot take it away from him. The fact that yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. Viva Maresca haters will say I am making fun of Coachila. I loved him, but the way he left after taking a step back and looking at a lot of stuff, he just used us to upgrade his polish his resume. Told the club he wanted to leave. Why wouldn't the club start looking for a replacement? But that's by the way, big up everyone. Ebro, my bro. I like Liam, but this is a recipe for disaster. Again, every manager will echo the squad shortcomings and ask for enhancement. Do I think we have a lot of shortcomings? I don't think we do. We're not perfect. We need to make a few signings. Let's say at least one or two center backs, but that's a small opinion anyway. Of course, Maresca was happy until he started getting he can until the interest from Manchester City. And he was truly, indeed, as somebody said before then, that he was looking for a way out. The signs were there. When he hired the super agent in Jorge Mendes, a lot of people thought, yeah, he's planning to leave Chelsea. Yeah, New Year vibes in the chat. Happy 2026, everyone. It's still the 5th. So, yeah, we're still using the New Year stuff. All right, Coachila is Iqbali's number one brand envelope. Yeah, I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to yours. What else do we have? Yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. All right. Modern Mana, who is it talking to? I do not know. But quickly, we're going to get to addressing the items we have lined up. Not a lot, but I am struggling with my system now. I'm not sure if it's really going to work well, but I'll give it a shot. I didn't want to host a show because I'm using a very old camera I had, hoping that it works while I see if I can fix the other one or maybe order another one. But it doesn't look like it's going to be seamless. We're going to have a lot of issues. I hope you bear with me, but we'll find a solution as quick as possible. But I have a senior panelist on here with me. Bobby, thank you for finding the time to join me on the panel. I do hope you're doing well. I cannot hear Bobby. Maybe he needs to.
Big up, coach.
Up to you too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you finally managed
Fine.
to stream. I only got to
Sorry.
join you. I said, so you finally managed to stream.
Yeah, I'm using a very old camera. As you can see, it's not been stable.
It's okay. I don't see any problem with it. I can see you perfectly well on two separate devices. So anyway, it's all good. I don't know, what's happened to your camera. I hope it gets fixed.
Yeah, I
or you
lost
get a new
one when we were moving to Texas. The only one I have won't turn on. Maybe after the marathon streams, and I didn't turn on the fan that I usually turn on for it, or the AC. So maybe that broke something in it. I don't know. But big up to you, Bobby, and thank you for joining me on the panel.
Yeah, we what can I say? Look, I think, if truth be told, we were fortunate against Man City. I don't think they really came out all guns blazing. I think
Do we really care? And in all honesty, Bobby, that's
no,
your business. If they didn't come out all guns blazing, that's your business.
yeah,
You could argue
of course
probably
it's
they
their business.
knew we were in a bit of crisis and thought maybe it's going to be a walk in the park for them.
Not probably they knew. They definitely knew we were in a crisis, and they did think it will be easier for them, and I think they were in second gear for most of the first half. And by the time they realized that they need to step it up again, it was, it's harder to step up after you've been strolling. So we took advantage of that and we equalized. Does it paper over the cracks? Yes. There are still aspects of that team that need addressing. Does it make us any happier about Liam Rosenior? No, I have my deep concerns, and I'm sure every other Chelsea fan does have serious concerns over this guy. Where do we go from here? Well, we don't seem to have a choice. But if the ownership don't start to make some further investments in the playing stuff, everybody's talking about the defense, the defense, the defense. I think the wings need investment. I really do. I think there's a huge deficiency in that area. Uh, Interesting thing of note, however, is Maresca made us believe that Jarell Hatto was not good enough, and
No, he made you believe, Bobby.
it's made it's made him believe he's not good enough, such that he is not good enough at the moment. However, yesterday he showed sparks that he could be good enough with faith being put in him and game time being given to him. And it's very important that he keeps having these cameos off the bench and definitely has a starting place against Fulham. And this is where continuity comes in because I'm not sure how much Rosinia really knows about him.
He should. That's why
He
he's a
should,
manager.
he should really, but time will tell. But that was the only kind of positives. I noticed that Callum McFarlane didn't even use Gittins and Garnacho. That was a very interesting and a very telling point as to the problems we have on the wings. And indeed, in attack, Liam Delap needs to find some sort of range. He didn't do too badly when he came in,
He was
but
good. I mean, that was an excellent cameo in my opinion.
his absence for
He
so
would have been
long,
better off. Bobby, do you know? In my opinion, I've rewatched that game. We would have been better off had he started that game because he showed
well,
what he's capable of doing. I've always known
yeah,
he
I
had it in
mean,
him. I never doubted him. I know there are factors that have led to him. You could say not hitting the ground running at the moment, but I've always known that he's a good player, and I'm happy. Actually, we signed him over OCM. OCM. I've said that before. I'm not changing that for reasons I've explained,
well, he
and it's
needs
a good thing
to
he's played under Rosenior too.
he needs to stay fit and have a consistent run in the squad.
Hmm.
All these players, their biggest problem is fitness. I've said this forever. They come in, they don't stay long enough, so they have to start again. To some extent, you can see his long absence has inhibited the development of Wesley Fofana, who is an excellent player as it is, but would have been even better if he had not missed about 2, 3 seasons of football. Badia Shield, the same thing. I had an argument with somebody in on a stream, not a hostile argument, but I believe he gave a good account of himself. But these people started blaming him for the goal by Reinders. And I said, look, there was very little he could do to stop that because he was showing Reinders to his weaker right. But what Reinders cleverly took it to his left and took a very good shot. Sometimes you have to applaud a good goal. Then they said, oh, well, he gave the ball to Haaland and he shot. Well, six of one, half a dozen of the other. People fail to recognize some of the interceptions he made, and that's because people build up a bias against players subconsciously. You're always absent, you've had too many duff appearances, so that mindset, whenever you do something wrong, will follow you and amplify attitudes towards you. I think he had a fairly good game. Um, but this is the problem. Fitness has blighted a lot of these players who are young already, but missing time has made their development stutter. And this is the problem with Liam Delap. He needs to be in the side. He needs to be available, just like we had Jackson. The good thing about Jackson was that he was consistently fit, so he had a long run of consistent appearances. Liam Delap has to do that. If not, he will never win the confidence of Chelsea fans. Look, we're not far away, but we do need additional personnel, certainly on the
No,
wing.
we're not perfect. Yeah, we do need additional personnel indeed.
And
Yeah, yeah.
maybe that centre back. I wish we could get back Mark Gui. I know he will come, but you see, in a
You mean
way,
Guehi?
yeah. But you see,
I think it'd
football is
be
also,
difficult for us to push to sign him, whereas we still
yeah,
have the likes of Anselmino,
because
who's done well so far at Dortmund, even though
well,
yeah he's not been
yeah.
fully fit all the time. Yeah,
Well, that's another thing. You see, and another thing is the wages. It's business for the players as well. And if he leaves Crystal Palace, he's going to expect um, grade A wages, which we're not really prepared to do. So,
and the truth remains there aren't shortage of options for him.
yeah, exactly. So, let's wait and see. But I'm still in the camp. I enjoyed I was appreciative of the way the fans was singing Roman Abramovich. It wasn't done maliciously, but it was a signal to the ownership that, look, we have standards that was created by this man at the club, and you're slacking magnificently. And nobody feels that confidence we had in the project has been seriously damaged by this nonsense with Maresca. Now, whether Maresca stabbed us in the back, whether it was this, that, or the other, but you appointed this guy. So it is your duty to motivate him to fulfill his contract that you gave him. The fact that he only went a year and a half or a year and a bit through that contract before he himself left out of certain frustrations, you're a part of that. And in fact, the accountability lies mainly with you because you are the employer. So I don't think they're out of the woods in that regard. And they're going to have to hope and pray that this Liam Rosenior guy can pull rabbits out of a hat, because that nonsense with Maresca is going to be something that will be hanging over them until
I
the success
yeah,
comes.
I do think Liam can. Even though I didn't want him to come in the first place, at first I felt like, which is, I still feel that way. Just he needed at least 2 more years there. Um, but we can't change it. Who am I to blow against the wind? I just have to support him, just like I did when we hired Maresca. My biggest concern is, you could say, the structure now. A lot of up and coming managers. It depends on how that. I'm still concerned. It could still go that way. How that of Rosenior goes, they see Chelsea as a stepping stone. That was why I told people that say that manager ABC rejected us. I say it's a lie. We probably didn't contact those managers you're mentioning. The managers I believe would be interested in bringing in, they all will be interested in joining Chelsea. Why? Because it's a good opportunity to prove to potential suitors that you're capable of performing at a bigger club. So this is be they start seeing Chelsea, as you could say, as a means to polish their resume and move on if need be. And I still believe that was exactly what Maresca did, because a lot of factors came out that I took a step back and look at, and that some of them, for me, I get it. A lot of, you could say, horse dung or absolute nonsense have come out since his departure, but there are some that make sense, such as him talking to Manchester City mid-October, and the way that particular report, when we addressed it, the way the way it was phrased, infuriated me. You're telling your bosses that, yeah, I'm talking to Man City, and the reason I'm talking to them is in case if I can't quite remember how that particular report was phrased. In case if you could say vacancy emerges there, then you're going to take it. I just,
Well,
I still cannot look beyond that, irrespective of his reasons, whether he told them that. But if you can do this for me, then I'd stay. If you said that to me, whether I'm able to fulfill what your request or not, which is the other option, that if I'm able to fulfill that, you'd stay. I'm never going to trust you again. That's the way I
well,
operate. But go ahead, what you were saying, Bobby.
the account I've heard, and I also think this is also unacceptable, was he said that after winning the Club World Cup that he should have a new contract, whereas the review of his performance would have been at the end of this season. So clearly, whatever the reason is, he had other aspirations. Now, is Chelsea a club for you to come and build up your CV and move on? Actually, it is not. If the ownership is presenting it as such, then more fool them. You have to sell the project in terms of longevity. You don't sell the project. It's very easy with this
Mm.
group of talented young players to sell it to a young manager and say, hey, look, you grow with these players, bring them to the pinnacle and sustain them at the pinnacle. Everybody wants success. So maybe Maresca had his eye on Juve and or Man City right from the beginning. I don't know, but I don't buy this. Oh, Chelsea is a stepping stone to what? Where else in world's football do you go beyond Chelsea? I mean, it's not really that open. It's not really that much of a shut case. You don't move on so easily from a club like that. So whatever Maresca's issues were, and I think he was wrong. I think the ownership should have found a way to motivate him, and probably if they had sensed this, should have employed somebody else. But however, what is done is done. They've handled it this way. Maybe it was right for them to part ways. I
But
don't know.
we may never know.
We may never fully know. And now they've brought in this kid, relatively, to manage kids. Let's hope it works. I have deep concerns. They've given him a 2.5 year contract. I don't know what that says. And the onus now, he's coming to manage Chelsea, not Strasbourg. So he's got to be successful. If not, let alone the ownership, the fans will turn on him. Um, it's not a nice position.
No,
But
I mean
we're
it's
talking.
not. You could argue on its own it's a setback. You could say to some measure, the only saving grace is that yeah, we've set up Strasbourg. You can say to play in nearly an identical manner the way we play here, which makes it easy for players to transition from Strasbourg to Chelsea, or even managers. Even I've heard that our academy department or whatever you want to call it, trained the same way as a senior team. I think that will go a long way, but I don't think that makes it right to say we're in a good. You could say we're in a good place right now, given the fact that a manager who's achieved two trophies in just 18 months, three semifinals in just 18 months. It's never a good thing for you to lose such a person. It's a setback, and you could see from the first. In the first, within the first 15 to 20 minutes of that game against Manchester City, the players did come across as you could say uh, downcast or something to that effect. For I don't know if that's the accurate language to use. They did look like something was bothering them, but I'm glad they were able to overcome
Well,
whatever it was on the day and give a good account of themselves, at
well,
the
if
end of the
you
game, and which
i-
and numbers suggest we could have won it. But go ahead, Bobby.
if you had looked at the performances of Palmer, which was poor, and Neto, which was absolutely dreadful.
He missed
Maybe
a
you're
couple of
right. Oh,
open
he
chances.
was terrible, and he kept
Yeah.
falling over the ball, and I don't know. So let's wait and see what happens. The situation I don't like to be in football is when you're hoping and you don't have certainty. However, having said that, there were passages of play in that Man City game that shows what we're capable of, and what we did
And it's
against
nothing new.
Barca and Arsenal. Yeah, it's not
Mhm,
new.
mhm.
So the squad is not far away, but we need the injection, one or two, and we're going to be, right up there, and hopefully able to stay there.
Yeah. All right, Bands. I know you're in the house. I'm going to catch up with a few of what we have in the chat. Come back to the panel. Let's hear your overall thoughts on the game. Then we will also look at the numbers to see what the numbers tell us. As I've said, numbers suggest that, yeah, we could have won the game. We were the better side overall on the day. The first half, you could argue, was theirs. It's a game of two halves. I
Okay,
agree.
big ups to
Yeah.
everyone, big ups to the listeners, and I'm very glad that today Bobby has realized that sometimes the owners have to be, reminded for the track record of our previous owner, the way he handled the football club and the way he chunked a lot of success for this football club. I remember when Pochettino was sacked, I was very fuming. I was very
Baz, can you
angry.
give me 1 minute? Let me just catch
Sure,
up with a few of the items we have in the chat. Not too many of them. I don't think it will take
sure.
me 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Here from Ebro, it says, not going to lie, the fight the boys put up last night was amazing. Big up to Enzo. Wow. He was on a different, he was an animal in that game. Defensive contributions and all that. The boys put up last night was amazing. Big up to Enzo showing up like a proper Chelsea in the clutch. He's always been like that. And people saying he's too slow for the Premier League and all that nonsense. But I'm not going to debate that anymore. It was a very, it was very telling. Okay. It was a very Callum. It was very telling that Callum got a look at Gittins and Ganacho in practice and said, no, thank you. Wow. Okay. He might have. I wonder why the sporting directors didn't pick the team from McFarlane. Maresca is a formula. Yeah, a lot of people, the rumors that, yeah, that they're suggesting which players to start and which to leave on the bench. For me, I didn't believe that. Absolute nonsense, in my opinion. And Ifedayo, Ekukbadi, he says, I'm a Chelsea fan, but this man is above our level right now. It depends on what perspective you want to see it from. Big up to you too. Shanks, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I can be reading stuff from Mod Mana. And remember, Mod Mana, our AI chat police, you can do exclamation mark debate, start a debate with it, exclamation mark, the word debate, and then what do you want to debate with him? Then yeah, he will respond. Big up to you to Candiarans Solutions. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Let's hear you, Barnes.
Yeah, so as I was saying, exactly, or let's say it's a bit, I think a year ago or so, when Maresca came in and people were doubting him. We had one of the shows, and I was on the same show with Bobby, and I was criticizing the owners, but he was able to defend them, and he thought that the team was really good, and he gave me that hope. Ever since then, I took something out of it, and after we won the Club World Cup, I said probably the owners might not be the problem, or even if they are problem, it also has to do with some few other things that are going on. And I've seen a lot of people saying they are going to do demonstration. Well, they have every right to do demonstration, but if things are not going to change, they can't force them to change it. And if this is how they want to run the football club, we have up to 10 years for them to be running the football club like that, until probably they can resell the football club to anybody or suitors who are ready to take over. And let me also state that the fact that the caretaker was able to go to the Etihad with some of our few key players out and gotten that results means maybe Maresca was complaining a lot. And I really like Maresca. Everybody who knows me knew that I supported him throughout these years. And even as he won something for the football club, my love for him was, you know, was so much that I was always defending him. But for some time now, when he was doing certain, changes when it comes to player selection and other things, I question his integrity and also I question his ability to manage a team because you can't tell me that when you are facing a side and you go down by maybe a man or something like that and your changes are so horrible, I have to defend that. You might be better than me. You are a coach. I might not know the technicalities of your changes, but sometimes it's very clear some of the changes he makes doesn't even make sense. And once we were doing some of the program, I told you guys that the way Maresca is not using certain players, it might come back to haunt him, and that's what exactly happened. Because even yesterday, a player like Hato, he hasn't gotten enough playing time, but I think he was really
I mean,
good.
in all honesty, for Hatter's case, there are
You
two
know,
factors that have led to him not playing as many games that I would have loved him
yeah. But
to play
what
right
I'm
now.
trying to say
One,
is
the you could say that awful performance against Karabakh. It takes a lot to come back from such, you could say, confidence. What's the language I'm looking for? Because
but
he was
Kochi,
so poor that it took a lot for him to recover from it. Plus, he
yeah,
was injured. I think about 8 days ago or so before Maresca left, he was out injured and wasn't even on the bench. I think he wasn't on the bench for our last game under Maresca.
I do understand that all those
Yeah.
factors come to play. And let's talk about my boy Estaval. He could have saved Maresca in a way because you don't want to tell me you are doing rotational policy at Chelsea and a player like Ganacho, who I would say he's how do I say it? He's from the woodlock. He's not somebody, the main guy who was coming here. Even some of the fans didn't want him in our football club. Will get 80 minutes and you will set Estaval, who has the talent, who has everything to save you from some of the games that we lost, just 5 minutes. If you give him 5 minutes, what is he going to do on the field of play? That tells you that Maresca also have himself to be blamed. Because if under 21 coach, I wouldn't say that was a fluke. The guy meant whatever he did yesterday, was able to read the game and came back so strongly and nearly beat Man City without some of the key players. Then what is your problem, Maresca? These are some
Oh,
of the things the fans were always complaining about. Because you tell me the point was whenever a player gets so many like have a very good game, the next game that player is not going to play. So are you working for us or you are working against us? After we play with Liverpool,
Yes, every time you bring up this, we'll have a heated argument, and I don't think my stance, on you could say, on my stance on the importance of rotation will never change, and your stance on the manager should continue playing players that are performing until you could say drive the bus until the wheels
oh no,
fall
not
off.
that, but Kochi, you and
You get my
I,
point. No, we define that aspect, and in all honesty, bands, I love you. You cannot convince me otherwise in
yeah,
terms
but
of
let me
changes.
let me
And
land there.
and
Maybe
if you
you
ask me,
understand. Let
I'd
me
still
land there.
tell
Maybe
you
you
that
you
he's
understand what I'm trying
handled
to say.
Estevo's start to life as a Chelsea player perfectly. But
Yeah,
that's
let me
your opinion.
land.
But go
Maybe
ahead,
you
coach.
understand what I'm saying. Um, I will take our champion for instance. Our champion had a very good game
Yeah,
against Liverpool,
I agree with you on that one.
and
Yeah, go ahead.
as a young player, if you treat him in that way, you are not giving him any confidence to perform in the subsequent game. And it's not like the guy was doing bad. You brought in Torsen twice, and Achampo didn't even get another chance to play. And Torsen cost us in both games that he brought. Tolson. So my point is, Maresca had all the resources. There was no need for him to be complaining about getting a center back because we have a lot of them. We haven't even sorted them out. We still have Axel Disasi here. We haven't sorted the situation up. We have so many players we are trying to get rid of. And you are also telling the owners. I would say that the owners did everything right for him to succeed. Because if you should play with us now, who is on fire, with 10 men and get that resource, what are you trying to say? And I don't think the owners were doing anything to harm or, um, distract his work that he's doing at Chelsea. He had all the necessary resources. One would say that, oh, because of our previous signings and everything, it is below the standard we all know. We can argue that, but the little that you have, I still think he could have fight for the title, but he blew everything by some of his reckless decisions and some of the decisions he took. He came out into the press and admitted that yeah, he realized that he made
All right.
certain mistakes when he was managing the team. So for me, Enzo Maresca was his own devil. He caused his own should I say how do we call it? He was the one who called for that decision by the owners. And we've talked about this. I don't want to go by what we've said previously, talking to other teams and everything. It shows you that this guy was here to build his CV and he wasn't having any love for my football club. Because if you are still under a contract, everybody has been so helpful, and you come out to say that, oh, you were still talking to other, teams. What do you mean by that? And he's so smart when he made that press conference, the infamous press conference. He definitely wanted to put the fans ahead of maybe a battle so that they would defend him in a way. He said, oh, I don't have any problem with the fans. He spoke so highly about the fans, and in a way he couldn't also praise the
All
owners
right.
for what they have done for him to win the club world cup, and he couldn't also come out to tell us whatever is going on with our football club. But let me tell him, it was because of Chelsea. A football team like Chelsea will make you Enzo Maresca who you are right now, because you can't get it anywhere. Even the likes of Liverpool, Manchester United and other teams, sometimes they envy our football club, and they have some big men who are working against us. They are using referees and other people to work against us. There have been so many sanctions, and our football club is still standing. No matter how they try to break us, we always have a way through. And also, let me tell any coach who is coming in, Rosenior, I know he's a very good guy. He has been with the EPL for a very long time. I watch him as a player, and I've also witnessed some of his coaching abilities. He knows the pressure that comes with the job, and he knows for sure that from day one he has to deliver. And if he has to go on the route of Maresca, then it's up to him. If there is something he feels that it's not going to go down well for him in terms of the contract and everything, he has to let the fans know so that we can
All
fight
right.
for him. We don't want a situation you will praise the owners, tell everybody that, oh, these guys are good, they have been supportive, and after you get something in your bucket, then you try to complain and talk about some of these things. Whatever is going on, he knows whatever he's going to sign for. So we don't want a situation where he will keep quiet and later on he will come out to tell us that, oh, he's not getting the support. If something is going on and he wants the fans to know, or he don't want to accept the deal, he can just say so that we don't go through this every year. And I have to also tell him that the players are there. We don't want any complaint. From day one, he has to start working. And also, I will address some of the bloggers that we have out there. I think Chelsea problem has to do with some of the bloggers. Even when this caretaker coach was going to Man City, I know for sure that some of them were so fake. They said so many crap about our team. And I was wondering whether they really love Chelsea. If you love the football club, you have to be with the club when we are facing a lot of problems. Nobody gave these boys any chance to win the game. But when it came to jubilating, some of these guys will be jubilating more than any other, fan out there. And it's so, ridiculous. If you love Chelsea, you have to come up with some constructive, argument. You need to motivate the guys. How can you say that, oh, the under 21 coach is going to go there, so we don't expect anything? Some of them, or should I say most of them, they were all doubting this young man. But he went out there and proved to everybody that it's not all about the achievements a coach have achieved that can make him better than any other person. The experience counts sometimes, but this guy had no EPL experience, no Champions League experience, came up with one of the top coaches in Europe or one of the best coaches in Europe. And look at what he did. He was able to go loggerheads with this guy and was able to get us the results. So, in all, I would say that Chelsea Football Club is not crap as people are saying, although there are so many things that have gone against us. And with a good manager, I think right now we need a very stable person who will come in here, believe in the project that these guys are selling, and let's talk less, support more, and see what we can do for this football club. And I believe this new coach is very young and he knows how to bring the best out of young players. And definitely, what he was having in Strasbourg that made him a better coach. He's getting more than that at Chelsea. I know the job is going to be difficult. We are all going to support him. We are all going to talk about him. When it goes wrong, we are all going to say it. But at the end of the day, it's still Blues. And I don't care about Enzo Maresca. Wherever he is, we thank him for whatever he did for us. I'm not going to bullshit that. But as of now, I don't care about where he's going and what he will be doing. History will always remind everybody as to what he did. And I don't know whether all the fans will welcome him one day when he comes to Stamford Bridge, because I feel like
All right.
he was a traitor before leaving our football club.
All right, Barnes, thank you so much. I'm going to catch up with what we have in the chat. We come back to the panel. We have to start talking about the game proper. Thank you so much for that detailed uh, input. I appreciate that. And here, Ibro, I think I've read that one. I think Maresca was trying to prove a point with his squad selection. He froze Hato out. No, I disagree. I've mentioned why I believe Hato didn't play for a while. He had a stinker against Karabakh, and usually such bad performance, it is usually difficult you can say, to get back from it. And also, he had an injury. Yeah, I expected him to start playing again in one of our cup games, and I think that was exactly what happened. We had a cup game that he participated in, did better than he did against Karabakh. I did expect him getting a lot more playing time, but it wasn't going to be drastic. It was going to be a gradual process. It was like, you could argue as if he just joined Chelsea, because that performance, that sort of bad performance against Karabakh, for me, I'd argue that his confidence did take a hit after that game. Even yesterday's, it took a while before he grew into the game, because probably he hadn't recovered fully from that awful performance against Karabakh away. But that's, by the way, what do we have here? Sibal says United Sakamorin. I still think, okay, we'll see. You've expressed your opinion. I had to read it because here, the way we operate, your opinion matters. It doesn't matter whether you disagree or agree with me. If I have a counter argument and opinion, I'd present it and not fight you because of your opinion. We don't run an echo chamber here. Here, your opinion matters. All we ask of you is to keep it civil. He thinks Arsenal will win quadruple. Here's the thing. You'll be lucky if you end up winning the league. It's still just 6 points. Yeah, it's still just 6 points. And you've done it how many seasons in a row? And I think probably that's a chance it happens the fourth time. Believe me, with 6 points gap, this is a Premier League, and I don't think you guys have won it. I don't think so. Hi to you, Tulusula. I do hope you're doing well. Very happy for the point salvaged at City. If Maresca was still in charge, Chelsea would have lost that game. And here's why I agree to that. I agree to that because in football, it takes the slightest change in approach, in tactics, if that's a language you prefer, for for the opposition manager to find it difficult to, you could say, to implement a counter tactics. I knew if McFarlane, if he changes anything, no matter how small, Pep will find it difficult. Why? Because before that, before the departure of Maresca, Pep would have been busy preparing for the way he knows Maresca plays. So the change in approach changed everything. That gave me hope. And I was telling people, I didn't come out to say we're winning, but I knew we weren't going to get embarrassed like a lot of people thought it'd be. Even Chelsea's big accounts, some are saying, I think it was Matisse that said he's not going to go to, he's happy he's not going to go to the stadium. I've seen, I did see some saying, yeah, we're going to get battered. And I said, look, football is played over 90 minutes plus added time. I don't know why you guys are saying they're going to batter Chelsea even before the kickoff whistle. And yeah, lo and behold, we could have won. Actually, numbers show when we deserve that we deserve a lot more. We deserved a lot more from that game than a draw. I get it. They started better. They started off the game better than we did, but we grew into the game and played better. Sorry, this is kind of slow. I'm trying to open Fortnum up so that we can look at the numbers together, so you can see for yourself that 1 point wasn't a fair. You could say it wasn't fair to us. But it is what it is. But nice to see you, Lusula. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding time to join the conversation. Let's see. Good evening to you, to Chelsea Archer. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining the conversation. If Maresca is still in charge, he will win. Now, chances you don't know. We're speaking in hindsight now, but I'd say, yeah, had he been in charge, the chances are we'd be discussing a loss right now and another draw. Because Pep knows him too well. That I'd argue had there not been the you can say the slight change in approach, we'd be discussing a loss right now. Hato needs playing time. I think had it not been for the fact that the manager had to, you can say, to some extent protect him, and the fact that he got injured. Even he got injured when Kukurea himself got injured. He wasn't available to take his place because he's the second left back we have at the club. Had it not been for the injury and that, what's the language? I'm trying to find a way to phrase it to come across effectively. You could say confidence killing, maybe confidence killing performance against Karabakh. I'd say that he would have could have played a lot more than he's played already this season, in my opinion. But that's, by the way, what else do we have here? Let's see. This says that we still definitely need a striker. The lap got yet another card. I'm not concerned about his card. If anything, I've come to terms with the fact that he probably will be getting a lot of that until he becomes a little more polished. Maybe because he's a kid, maybe he's trying a lot more to impress the fans, and in the process, maybe he's been overdoing it. But if you ask me, I'd say, I've come to terms that he'll be accumulating a lot of cards given the way he applies himself on the pitch. He's that sort of player, and it wasn't a bad cameo. He did a lot better than João Pedro did. And I've always known that he's a good player. I wasn't ready to give up on him, not even now. There are factors that have contributed, you could say, to the slow start to life as a Chelsea player. He was out injured. He didn't have a full preseason with us. What else? He's been again. He's gotten injured twice, and you can say against PSG in the Club World Cup final, he showed what he's capable of doing. Could have scored a brace on the day, but was unlucky. One, he beat Donnarumma on the day, but I think he went wide. So Houston, I don't think we need another striker. Emera also is coming. Maybe when Emera comes, then João Pedro will stop maybe was will not be operating as a number nine a lot more than he's done for us since he joined Chelsea. But that's by the way. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. The lap got more cards than goals. Yeah, go ahead. You have that to banter us with, but I think it will come good. How much do you guys? You sound like an Arsenal fan. Let me ask you, how much did you guys pay for Victor Gyökeres? Yeah. Maresca would have not sucked in Santos too early and would have lost that game. Santos coming in early reduced the workload for James since Enzo and Palmer don't track back like that. Yesterday, you should go look at how well Enzo Fernandez did, both offensively and defensively. He was everywhere. Even I think he actually, I'd say I watch it again and pay attention to that aspect. I think he actually unsettled Doku when Doku came in. Yeah. He says, in fairness to Hato, he wasn't helped to settle in that City game. The first pass to him was an awful one across his own area from Jorgensen, putting him under instant pressure. But he played well. He finished well. And I will never forget that last ditch tackle that ensured we didn't concede a second. And you could argue, had we conceded the second goal, yeah, we'd be discussing a different outcome right now. He's an excellent player. I've always known that. Wasn't ready to give up on him even after that awful performance against Karabakh, because before that game in particular, he's played all the games where he gave a good account of himself. He has actually one assist too. But because he's a kid, just 19, maybe he's not that much of a strong character that you could argue it took him a while to overcome that awful performance. Because, yeah, that's a confidence killing sort of performance. I'm happy at 19, he was a captain of Ajax. That wasn't by mistake. It just shows, for me, if anything, it proves that all we need to do is just to be patient with the kid. But let's see, that last ditch tackle, it was delicious, spotless. Yep, it was delicious. Josh Archibald did one too. Yeah, that made me happy. And that you could argue, that's sort of, you could say, that's sort of that sort of last ditch tackle, a confidence booster for him. Because I think he'd be listening to what the fans are saying, and that will, you can say, that will encourage him a lot. Because these are kids, you can't keep them off social media. Whatever the fans think of them, they know. But I'm glad I didn't give up on him, and I'm still not going to give up on him. He's an excellent footballer. Kukurea, more experienced, different profiles in the sense that Kukurea, he applies himself on the pitch in an erratic but effective manner. He can unsettle even the best player in the world. Hato overall more technically gifted, a better dribbler. So we need both, and I'm happy we have both. So Bobby, I'm gonna come to you if you're still there. Hopefully you haven't dozed off, because yeah, it's really, really late for you, Bobby. The question I want to ask you: who was your man of the match and why? If you're still there, Bobby. And if you're in the chat, the question also goes to you guys. Who was your man of the match and why? I'd like to hear that. And also, I've explained, if you want to start a debate with our AI, Mod Mana, just do exclamation mark debate, then type what you want to debate with it. Then yeah, you got yourself a debate. But I think you have maximum 5 exchanges between you and Mod Mana. Bobby, if you're there, otherwise I'm gonna go to Bands to hear his opinion, to get his man of the match and why. Okay, Bobby, chances are he's dozed off. Bands, if you're
No,
there.
I'm here. I'm
Okay,
here. I
okay,
have
he's here,
to.
he's here. Okay, Bobby, go ahead.
It's like you don't give me time to respond.
You know I don't
My
like
man
you,
of
right?
Yeah, I know. It's my man of the match is between Reece James and Enzo Fernandez.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, Enzo puts in work rate that people don't see. He's not your typical defensive midfielder, but
It's not.
he helps with the offensive play. He gets into the box, certainly of recent. But Reece James, I certainly give it to him because at one point, certainly in the first half, he was the only midfielder we had, which was a tactical error. In the second half, when he had Andre Santos, he imposed himself. Do you know, people say that Cole Palmer is Chelsea's best player. I don't like to say best player, non best player, and so on, but honestly, in my opinion, Chelsea's best player is Reece James
Yeah.
because whenever
You
he
say in recent games, or you say since this season.
all since he became a senior player, Reece James is a difference maker. You know, he reminds me of the difference N'Golo Kante used to make to us when he was on the pitch. You know, Reece James is a categorical difference maker, and it is imperative that we keep him fit because, you know, what he does for the team in terms of his play, the way he motivates his ability. He's not quite as fast as he was, but you know he's now moved into midfield, so he doesn't need to be. So for me, my man of the match has to be Reece James. Um, you know, the commentators were talking about Reinders, and well, you know, I don't know. I only look at Chelsea players. And I think even they eventually agreed that Reece James has to be given man of the match for that game.
Defensively, he did it really well. Even when Doku was introduced, then he didn't give him a break.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
he made sure he didn't have a good game.
And not only is his own game excellent, you know, he makes the odd mistake every now and then, but his game is excellent. He makes others around him play well too. You know, he
He leads
help
by example. Yeah.
yeah, he's helping Gusto's game a lot. You know, he helped Hato a bit. But you know why I think I don't know. You know, Maresca, he's not really done himself much favors because yes, I get it. After that game, forgotten the name of the team we played, Karabag. You know, the shocking performance by Hato. But you would think that Maresca has the good sense to know that sometimes you have to persist a bit with the player and encourage the player. After all, he did it with Noni. Noni put in some stinkers, boy.
But here's the thing, Bobby. To
You
some
know,
extent, he did persist. He didn't take him off that day. He let him finish the game. That's huge, though.
well, the level of the opposition, the players we had, I don't know. I don't even think it was a good thing for him to let him finish that game because, you know, he knew he had a stinker, and the more the game went on, the worse he became. Look,
But
it was
he
his.
I think he finished that game well.
Well, you know, it's by the by. You know, it was a bad day at the office. And what he showed against Man City is that there are roots of potential in that boy. You have to just find it, and hopefully, you play him against teams like Charlton and that, and start to build up his confidence. Same with Achimpong. You know, Achimpong had a very good game against Man City. Unfortunately, he had to come off in the second half, but that's fine. You know, he's 19 or is he 18, 19? You have to keep playing him bit by bit and building up his confidence. So for me, overall, that game is Reece James. He's now head and shoulders the captain of this current Chelsea team. Absolutely.
Yeah, he deserves it. But I'd give it to Enzo Fernandez. Look, James, he's matured into a very good leader. That even at the end of the game, he had to go whisper to the ears of McFarlane to go get closer to the away stands and thank the fans. Look, I has to give it to Enzo Fernandez. He scored the goal, was brilliant. There was also a dead ball situation where he had to. He did the work of our defenders, actually. So he was a lot enough to have read the trajectory of that, the ball that, who was that delivered the ball inside into our box, Manchester City. He read it so well, had to stretch his leg and kick it to a corner kick. I'd give
You
it to
know,
Enzo Fernandez. I think a lot of the players did well. I know the Man City players, they all have you can say, finished with better ratings than our players. But the top rated player for us, Enzo Fernández, 8.3. Even without seeing the rating now that we're looking at, I'd still give it to him. Malo Gusto also, kudos to him for that, beating his man on the
No,
flags.
Malo is massively improved.
He
Look,
has, he
Chelsea
has.
have some untouchables, and for now, I know the list will grow, but for now, the untouchables are Levi Colwell, Moises Caicedo, Reece James, Enzo Fernandez. They are Chelsea untouchables, and of course, Cole Palmer.
Mhm.
They are now the core of this and the lifeblood of this team. So yeah, Enzo is definitely there. He fights from beginning to end for the team. He carries the team in his heart. You can see it. So um, I wouldn't fight against anybody that nominates him as player of the man of the match. But for me, the overall all round performance by Reece James gives him that, for me, man of the match for sure.
Right, Buns. Buns,
Jester.
let's hear you. Who was your man of the match and why? For me, Enzo Fernandez, for reasons I've explained. And here's the thing, we'll look at their numbers. I think he was excellent on the day, defensively, offensively. And I will never forget how many times you can say, let me just stick with that dead ball situation, the free kick that somebody delivered into our box. He did the work of our defenders. If he wasn't there, City, you could say they could have scored from that situation. But let's hear you.
Yeah, I think I'll go to a different direction. And it will be very interesting. If
Go
you
ahead,
look
let's
at
hear you.
yesterday's game, everyone or most Chelsea players were struggling in the first half. But the moment the golden boy came in, Santos, everyone was having a good day, including the lab, who has been so horrific in previous games. And it was like everyone was feeling comfortable. If you watch that game carefully, Santos was really doing a good job. Like at a point in time, he was moving from one box to the other. He was, foiling most of the attacks coming from Haaland and some other players on the left side. And to me, I think the minutes that he got, he really changed the game. All of a sudden, Chelsea was making a lot of attacks into the 18 yard of Man City, and that's when a player like Estabal should have been in instead of Neto. And the way he comported himself, the way he was, going for tacklings, and the way he was winning balls, I strongly believe if he had played like the full 90 minutes, a lot of people would have, will be giving it to him. It's rather unfortunate he came in the second half, but the 45 minutes he played, I have nothing to say but all praises. He really did a good job, and I think if you should ask me who will be the man of the match, looking at the limitation of the time frame and everything, I will give it to him. And also, there is something I would say about Hato's situation. After he had a very bad game at Azerbaijan, let's not forget that place is a place where the terrain is very difficult, and especially for him to be a young player going into that terrain with a very
I mean, that's
bad,
another factor to consider. Yeah.
yeah, with a very bad weather. I've lived in Ukraine for like 2 years, so even going further to that area, I should think it's a very cold area, and we shouldn't blame him a lot. But the mistake Maresca did, I know a lot of coaches. When I used to play college football in high school, your coach will tell you that hey, you had a very bad game, but that doesn't let you stay on the bench. They would like to give you more encouragement, tell you how good you are and how you can, make things different. So I wasn't expecting him to sit on the bench because he made a mistake. When you do that, he's still young, although he has been having experience with Ajax Football Club. He should have been given the opportunity to play other games just to let him know that he's still good. You don't have to kill his confidence. But that's what happened yesterday. He came in, and I think if you have a manager who gives you that confidence, who talks to you and tell you how good you are, you go to the field of play and you can deliver whenever you are playing. But if you don't get that support and no one is telling you anything, you ask yourself, am I really good? Let's not forget this is a player who was the captain for Ajax Football Club, and maybe a lot of people don't know how big Ajax is. Back in the days, they were like Barcelona and other teams. And let's not forget they were winning a lot of trophies back in the days. It was a big football club, and they are still one of the best or one of the biggest in Europe. So for him to be a captain of that team and coming to Chelsea, I don't expect him at all to be on the bench. At least we have to start using him. The mistake Maresca did was not to be able to at least get two teams out of the squad that he has. Because if you want to rotate, then it's better you play players who are comfortable around certain players, form two teams, and certain games you will let them play. You understand? Rather than
Mm.
putting a lot of players on the bench and they don't get any minutes. If you can create two teams for yourself, then let them go out there and get the minutes. But this is a situation we always have certain players playing and others don't even get playing time. When you do that, first of all, the player is going to be rusty. There is no way they will be able to, perform so well because after going to training, you still need those game time to improve in whatever league you are playing. But if you are warming bench, I'm sorry, it's better you look for a different team. And I think that's what was happening to Hato. Yesterday, somebody might have given him that confidence, although he had a few moments which wasn't in a positive way. But when he settled in the game, he really showed who he is. And I believe he still need more time. I know it's going to be very difficult, especially playing the same position with Kukureya. It's not going to be easy. But on the other side, the coach need to find a role for him where he can also,
Listen, I think it's quality, and
yeah,
Rosenio,
Rosenior,
he rotates a lot,
yeah.
and
And
uh,
I was told that sometimes he can do a whole lot of changes. He doesn't care putting somebody in the attack where they are supposed to be in the defense. And I still even believe that a player like a champion, he shouldn't be limited to only the defense. He's somebody who can be like Patrick Vieira. They can try him in the midfield. I don't know if they've tried him in the midfield because there was a recovery that he made against Haaland, and I really like that moment. He lost the ball to Haaland, but he quickly recovered from that. And I think if you should put him in the center of the field for him because he's a player who can also move forward with the ball. So we shouldn't limit his ability around the defense. We can sometimes try him in the center, and probably they might discover something that they've discovered from James. I know James used to play in the midfield sometimes when he was in Wigan Athletic, and it's something that is not new to me. But at Champon, they have not tried him in the midfield area, and I believe Lavia is having issues, and we have Santos, we have Enzo, we have other players. Why don't you also try to draft him in there so that if he's not getting the time at the back of the field, probably you can have a new role for him. So I
mm,
think the coach needs to sit down, try to make sure that everybody get the playing time, and he also have to. I know there are certain players who are coming in after the season, Omega and who else? I think Kinda and other players. When they come in, our team is going to be stronger. And for me to wrap up, I would say Santos was my best player, and I think he really did well yesterday.
yeah, he's saying a good shout because you could argue he changed the game. But I will have to, let me do this. Let me go back to the ratings. Let me look for his ratings, the ratings of the players that were subbed in. They don't have. Where's Santos? I think I see the minutes that they were introduced. But let me see if we'd see his final rating.
There
That's
is a
six
website
six
where you
point
can
seven.
get all those. I've forgotten the name. I
Yeah,
think
six
Player
point
Raters.
seven. I think if I check our own app, actually, if I check Chelsea's Perspectives app, we do have that.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't want to go there right now because well, it's in maintenance mode and a lot. We slow down. Um, we slow down the my system. And by the way, we started a new batch of predictions for the match of February, January. We haven't decided what gifts, what you can say, what price the winner will get. The person that predicts gets the most
Predictions.
accurate predictions by the end of the month. Dante won that of the month of December, so he will get a custom Chelsea shirt with his name on the back. I think he has 7 points. I have six. Jay has around four or so. And we'll still do a giveaway for our panelists as promised. I'm just going to find a date and fix a meeting for all the panelists to be there. Yo, to you too, him. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Who else is there? Let me say hello to people so we can get to the game. And if you are in the chat, who was your man of the match and why? Tebeku. Big up to you, Tebeho. Thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. I do hope you're doing well.
Hey,
Hell,
Tobago
yeah.
is online. He said this year is going to be war.
Tebeho isn't happy. I'm not happy, but I've, you can say, learned
Big up
about the
Tobago.
situation. Um, I'm not going by what I see on the surface level. I've learned a lot about what happened. And if I'm going by that, I'm not just going to continue having a go at my club. But we'll still find out more. Press your screen for about a second to see the like, comment, all the bells and whistles, and to swipe up to go full screen. We'll still do beg for likes because likes do go a long way. The more likes we garner, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the YouTube algorithm to push and be forced to push this into more people who'll be interested in the topics we have lined up. Buns, yeah, not buns. Nkwacha just one that says Enzo is not untouchable. He's untouchable. I know you don't like him. I've read several of your opinions about Enzo. So yeah, I come to realize you don't like him, and you questioned what he brings to the table the other day. And I think to the best of my knowledge, I was able to explain effectively. He's unique, and whether you like it or not, whenever he's not on the pitch, we do struggle to control games. It's Caicedo and Palmer. A fit Lavia would put Enzo on the bench. They're not the same. Lavia doesn't have Enzo's vision. He doesn't. And for Enzo to beat a press, I think I've said this the day you asked the question what Enzo Fernandez brings to the table. I explained to you how he doesn't even need a first touch. In most cases, he doesn't even need to touch the ball. Before the ball gets to him, he already knows what to do with it, and boom, yeah, he finds his man. He is that good. First half midfield was open because Enzo and Palmer don't recover, and that's on the manager. But the manager read that, read the game, realized that that was an issue, and had to introduce what's his name, Santos, and Santos made a difference. Even the pundits said the same. That doesn't mean Enzo is a bad player. He was our best player on one. You could say arguably our best player on the day. I think that'd be the most accurate way to phrase it because that's my opinion. And he won the man of the match too, rightly so. And I don't think it's down to just him scoring goals. If you think it was just because he won the man of the match because he scored a goal, I urge you to go take your time and rewatch that game. So I'm still trying the system, trying to see the debate thing. I had to make a correction. Let's see if it works Just saying hello to people there. Santos was my man of the match. I think not a bad shout because you could argue he changed the game. They were running over our midfield until he came on. We had better balance when he was on the pitch, and it makes sense because he was more defensively. He's more defensively solid than all the players we had on the midfield in the midfield on the day. My only issue is White need to play for 90 minutes. You managers usually prefer having experienced players on the pitch, whether they're playing badly or not. But he was awful. Jesus Christ. I could not believe it. I was screaming. I could not believe how bad he was. But I'm not going to condemn him saying that he's a bad player because of the chance he missed and because of how many times he killed our attack. Because I do remember the good things he's done since joining Chelsea. For instance, that game, you could argue, let me just not mention games. He's one of the most selfless players we have at the club. Can sacrifice operating as an offensive player to contribute defensively and ensure we get a good result. He's that sort of individual, and I like that. Mel, nice to see you, my sister from another mother. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. James was so solid for us, but Santos in the short time he did a lot. You could argue he was the reason we started playing better. So a good shout to say Santos man of the match. I wouldn't go against that. And people, go in, subscribe to Miss Melina's YouTube channel. She covers all EPL clubs and beyond. Link presented there. Let's help her grow. A nice person, more importantly, and knowledgeable of the game. Let's see what else we have here. Bansy's gone. He's gone. Yes, press and hold your screen for just about a second to see the bells and whistles, which includes the like, comment, share options. Yes, we still do back for likes. We're not a big account yet, but we're getting closer and closer to 30K subscribers. Currently, we're at 28,938 subscribers. So we're getting close to that number. Let's see. Yep, go on sub. What else do we have here? Please like and subscribe to the Pejo's YouTube channel. The link there. You can where's Tebeho's YouTube channel? Yes, people, go and subscribe to Tebeho's YouTube channel. See the link there. Let's help him grow. What else do we have? Enzo Maresca is my guy, but Liam is my guy too. However, I still think he's not ready. I didn't want him. I know he's very, you can say, a very clever tactician. But chances are he's ready. Here's why I think I'd stick with chances are he's ready. He has a more experience than Maresca had before he joined us. Before Maresca joined us, he didn't have you can say European experience as the main guy himself. But Rosenior has you can say first team coach experience and European experience. Yeah, in a top flight before a lot more than Maresca had before Maresca joined us. So that's the only reason why I'm not concerned. I would have preferred him remaining at Strasbourg for 2 more years or so. But it is what it is, and who am I to blow against the wind? I'm just gonna continue being the 12th man and not do otherwise. Unhappy about what? I wasn't I wasn't happy that Maresca was sacked, but I'm not one track minded. I don't know if is that the accurate language to use there. I've seen a lot of stuff have come out. Some of them, the moment I look at them, I realized that some of them. The moment I looked at some of them, I realized some of them are just absolute horse dung. Some made sense. Some led to me, you could say, telling myself that Maresca don't deserve my sympathy. Chances are he has something in motion already, which led to him behaving the way he did to ensure, he gets his wish of, you could say, being a free agent, for lack of a more specific language there. So that changed how I felt about the situation. I have no sympathy for him right now. if anything, I'm actually enraged and not happy. I'm miffed that yeah, he used this to polish his resume. And for me, I've tried to see it differently. That I've always, you can say, after everything, come back to the same conclusion that yeah, he used Chelsea to polish his resume and felt like yeah, he's good now, irrespective of what happens, he still get another job. And now whether he, as we've heard, that he's asked for um uh a pay rise or so, or a new contract, when the agreement was always to uh, do a review after his second season and then talk about a new contract. But that's by the way. There are a lot of stuff out there that when you read them, if you believe them, you will be mad at him. Yeah. Let's see. If Liam the Lab build on his performance against Manchester City, that's him. That's who he is. Just what he needs. Maybe the Maresca's approach was the issue. I don't know. But I've always known that he's a good player, and I haven't changed my stance on the fact that yeah, he will come good. Manchester City, he will come good and stop getting silly yellow cards. Do I think he'd stop getting silly yellow cards? I'd say no. And maybe when he becomes a little more polished, we start seeing less and less of the reckless behaviors, behavior that has led to him accumulating the number of yellow cards he's accumulated since joining Chelsea. But I'd like us to take a step back and you realize that yeah, that's him. That's the way that he's never gonna get. That's the way he applies himself on the pitch, aggressive, and because of his size, even something that a more, you can say, that a lanky player would do and get away with, he'd do it and get carded. Because if he does something that a lanky person does, it looks like a lot more power, you can say, he's put into doing it than when a lanky person does it. So yeah, but let's see. I do like him, and I think he will come good. It's obvious this coach will be powerless during transfers, but he will have a say on who plays when it comes down to game day. As long as this coach can quickly segregate the deadwood from the team, I think Maresca has done that for him. If anything, we might see him reintegrate. What's his name? Reintegrate Axel de Sissi. That's a possibility. Don't I urge you not to rule that out. But here's the thing. I think he'd still have a say when it comes to players who will sign in the future. That does It's not just up to him alone. That's the difference. But people like to argue that yeah, they just sign a player and practically impose the players. They just sign players and impose the players on the manager. Something like yeah, there you go. You have these players. Figure it out. It doesn't work like that. Do I think then managers at Chelsea will be yes men? I'd say yes, technically, because yeah, that's a more relatable language to the average football fan. Yes, man, because yeah, a structure is in place, and football, you can say it is like that now in all the big clubs. Times have changed. It is like that at Manchester United. You could argue which was why what's his name Amorim thought yeah he'd be able to work under such conditions. Then realized yeah it's not working for him, and probably wanted Manchester United to go out and sign a lot more players after they've spent how much they spent for him already. But I digress. My point is, yeah, that's the modern structure. That's a modern way of structuring football clubs. The manager don't have all the say. Even the biggest clubs in the world are looking for younger managers, in my opinion. But I think that's actually the case. That's been, you could say, the trend, for lack of a more relatable language. We're good, he says. What else do we have here? Let's stop dwelling on Maresca. I've moved on. God rest his soul. Nothing happened to him. Good luck to him, I'd say. He needs this break, and it's pointless living in the past. We must back the new coach. That's what I want to do. But unfortunately, I think for a while, people will still bring him up. Big up to you too, my bro. I do hope you're doing well. I'm Kid from Almighty Blues FC. Early good morning from India. Good morning to you too. Good performance, but skeptically optimistic about Rosenior. However, I agree with you on Enzo 100%. Jose Tuchel are different vibes. It's really that simple. Clubs don't go for such names these days. And he says, as much as I respect and thank Maresca too, left with a bad taste in the mouth. I agree. Although owners, directors are mainly to blame. I'm not just going to blame them. I'll just stick with I don't like the directors. I'll just stick with that because I think it'd be unfair to just go go with what I've heard majority of the fans say about the situation and not think for myself and just go, yeah, you know what, I agree. The club and the directors, they're definitely the reason why Maresca had to leave the club. After learning that he had told the club mid-October that yeah, he is talking, he's speaking his camp, that his camp is speaking to Man City, and that if when an opportunity, you can say managerial opportunity emerges there, that he'd like to take it. I refuse to just turn on my club. I'm not going to do that really, and that's how I operate. Let's see. Now you cannot be happy with him getting cards, coach. I'm not saying I'm happy with him getting cards. I'm just saying I've come to terms with the fact that that's the way it's going to be with him, the way he applies himself on the pitch. And because he's a huge guy, even something that the lanky player like Cole Palmer would do and get away with, he'd do it and get in trouble. Because his size plus what him nudging someone will come across as him wanting to kill that or to say unalive that person. I shouldn't be saying that so that the video don't get demonetized. But the lap does it, he gets in trouble. But Cole Palmer will do it and get away with it. Yeah, because he doesn't really come across like the most aggressive person on the pitch. That's by the way, let's see, what else do we have here? High time we hire a coach who respects our history, because we Chelsea fans know we surely do. Okay, we'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky and find one. Manchester United lied to Amorim. No, I think Amorim lied to himself. I don't think they lied to him because yeah, he signed the contract. Except if he has his, you can say, his entourage, or maybe if his camp, if they are stupid, he has lawyers. I think he. Let me just rephrase that. He had lawyers look at the contract before he signed them. If he didn't, then he's a moron. That's why before you sign such contracts, you have your lawyers go through it, and a smart lawyer would see it and say, "You're being hired as a head coach, not a manager. If you think you're going to be a manager, that you're not going to be a manager, then he will flag it and told them, can we sort out this? Are you hiring me as a manager or as a coach? Because that's a difference. So for me, I think he's pretending he wasn't told. There's no way he wasn't briefed on the sort of contract they're willing to offer him. And if he had his lawyers read it and still okayed him signing it, whereas he wanted to be a manager and not just a coach, then he's an idiot. And I don't believe for a second that they lied to him. He tried to make it work. It didn't just work. He's not. You can say he wasn't able to bear the pressure that comes with. You can say being the coach at Manchester United. He couldn't. Tried every. You could say talk about the manager being one dimensional, being one trick pony. Amorim is a prime example of that. Wasn't able to change things around, and you can argue down to I've heard people say about him being too stubborn, bent on approaching the game in a particular way, and not open to changing things around to get result. So he's lying to himself. Nobody lied to him. I disagree. He's an idiot, by the way. If that's how I see it. But I get your point. Yes, back the new coach. We have no other option than to back him. If you refuse to back him, if you refuse to be the 12th man, you don't love the club enough. And the same thing I said about people on X praying that we lose for one reason or the other. Some we lose because they weren't happy with the ownership. Some were hoping that we lose that game because they didn't want Arsenal to win the league. They actually won. Some won Manchester City to batter Chelsea, and I was like, if you in fact want that to happen, and if you're a content creator, then yeah, you're a moron because you was nothing you've done. There's nothing you can do to convince me that you're just in it for clicks. You don't love the club one bit. And the sort of flip flopping that I've seen, I felt like I saw that I saw on X. I felt like a throwing up. I thought maybe when I heard Eunice apologize to the owners, what he said, blah blah blah, after we won the Club World Cup. Okay, we had a few bad results, and Maresca left the club because yeah, a lot of people haven't actually realized that he wasn't fired. He wanted to leave, and he got his wish. He started again. BlueCo out. He started afresh again. Went back to his usual self. I think maybe driven by the urge to get maybe a lot more views, even as big as his account is. But that's by the way. People should operate the way they do. But one thing I can promise you guys, as long as we're concerned, I'm not sure how else to phrase it. We're not going to change to please people. We'll always leave the discussions open, present your opinion, someone else will present their counter opinion, and we'll try to come to a sensible conclusion if we can. If not, we'll all go home with our respective opinions. Nobody, it's not a must, again, to suck up to anyone else's, any particular individual's opinion. Speaking of trends, this new coach hasn't been doing too well at Strasbourg. Let me say this. If we're speaking of trends, let's assume he's Pep, and let's assume that this right now, you can say, let's assume we try to hire Pep at that point. I think it was last season when Man City lost. When Man City lost tons of games in a row, would you question his pedigree? Would you even pay attention to the fact that that at the time they had lost about 6 games in a row or 5 games in a row at least? You wouldn't, because his pedigree. You wouldn't even look beyond his pedigree. You'll still be mesmerized by the fact that we're trying to get Pep to become our manager and the possibility, and we're actually talking to his camp. Yeah, but because it is Liam Rosenior, you're paying attention to his team's current form. Last season, he helped them achieve Champions League football for how many? For a billion years. Something they hadn't done for a billion years. He helped them achieve it last season. So I could care. I don't care about his team's current form. That happens. Yeah, so it's nothing. It's not something that worries me, and I honestly don't want to talk about it. All right, bro. Again, my YouTube super chat got declines like last time. What happened? Any idea if folks from India are having? I haven't heard anything really. We get it checked. Just talk to support. You have access as long as you're monetized. You should have access to support, and they will listen to you immediately. Okay, duplicate. But yeah, try support. Amarim is underrated. Yeah, he is maybe. All right, let's see. Amarim is a bit too rigid. You can say definitely too rigid in my opinion. For his sample career size, he could be so you can say egotistic only after he got results. Yeah, I didn't want him to become our manager at the time. People preferred him over Enzo Maresca. But boy, we were lucky because Chelsea fans would have turned against him quicker than Manchester United fans did. And he was scapegoating players right, left, back and forth. And yeah, they've come to realize that it was always his fault. And he wanted out. The pressure got to him. He couldn't bear it. And I read something to the effect of him and his camp staff leaving Carrington, is that what you call the Manchester United training ground? All smiles. And I was like 50 Cent would say, I'm walking straight to the bank with these, something like that. Ha 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 ha. I could that was the exact song that came to mind the moment I saw. I think that the title of that particular song is Piggy Bank or so. I couldn't stop laughing, and I was like, "Yeah, why wouldn't they? They're getting the payoff." And he actually baited them. He baited them because he repeated that he came there to be the manager and not the coach. He repeated it during that post-game presser, so like twice, like making sure they heard it, and yeah, it worked. They fired him. Now he's going to get a huge paycheck. So why wouldn't they be all smiles leaving Carrington? But that's why we're here to talk about Chelsea. Yes, cannot understand fans who would want their team to lose. Crazy agenda driven, lockdown kids. Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, we also criticize rant, etc., but we are there no matter what. Rant is something content creators do when you're not happy. I don't listen. I don't. I don't blame anybody that you could say that critique whatever the owners, the sporting directors objectively. But sometimes when you hear them rant, what they say, sometimes you question whether they have brains in their skull. There are people who aren't happy with the directors and the owners, but they speak objectively. When you listen to them, you would want to have a conversation with them. But some, when you hear them talk about the situation, the way they speak senselessly, like saying that they're just here to flip players to make game. And I don't want to start talking about that because I'll lose my cool and I'll start speaking aggressively as if I'm fighting with the audience. You'd know that you'd ask yourself, what the heck are they talking about? And you wouldn't want to talk to them. There are, I remember when it was one huge agenda, we could say driven by Bobby Fairview, something he was trying to get people to believe that the owners, they're in huge debt, were in trouble, the club will go broke, the club will go get into administration. He was hosting what's it called, spaces, talking about the financial situation at the club, blah 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 blah. Blah. One, I think he was Eunice also heard something, took it and ran with it. That Todd Bolly was reselling tickets. There's something like that. Just you heard it from one newspaper outlet. You just take it and run with it without even investigating. But I don't want to get into that anyway. We're streaming in this format. Am I going to be able to do anything? Let me see. I think we still do during the Blue Morning Show. It still be because it's the 6th for you. Am I wrong? To be correct me if I'm wrong. It is the 6th for you, right? So if it is the 6th for you, then yeah, then would still do, you can say, pop the balloons and the fireworks for her tomorrow. I'm not sure if this works. Let me see, because I'm streaming in a vertical format to be able to stream. You can say, so that it looks good on both landscape and yeah. So we still, I will pop the balloons and the fireworks for her tomorrow morning. But happy birthday, Mrs. Tabejo. Much love to you. Yeah, my brother's wife. We'll pop the balloon tomorrow for her, okay? Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go a long way. Who's to say this new coach has pedigree? He does. Helping Strasbourg, you can say, get into the get Champions League football. That's huge. That's on his. Yeah, that wasn't easy to achieve with a very, very young squad, and beating Luis Enrique with with his team, and could have, you could say, had the opportunity to beat them on 2 occasions, but on one of them, I think he wasn't pragmatic enough, which is the only issue I have with him, is that he doesn't really know how to be pragmatic, which I believe probably will make some serious adjustments so that he won't be, the Premier League managers will not mop the mop stadium carpets with him. Okay, tasty blues. It says I reckon they're gonna let MC Fallon cook versus Fulham. I think that's the case right now. All right, I'm gonna go get hi to you too. He says Coach is redeeming his inner Chris Brown. I'm not Chris Brown, but I'm not a bad singer either. But boo hoo, I'm not gonna try to sing Seva, Paul. All right, let's see what we have here. Let's I want to look at Enzo Fernandez's numbers. I already there's a report out there that McFarlane will be in charge for our game against Fulham, and I think it makes sense. The boys did well against Manchester City, and his selection, it was this again. The selection on the day was all his decision. The changes he made, all his decision. I think they trust him to make the right decisions on again for our game against Fulham. Hopefully, he drops Pedro Neto on the bench for that game in particular. I think it makes sense. Let him go ahead with it. I actually like our owners. They give people opportunities. And even before that game, McFarlane did say something to the effect of that he likes the culture at the club. See how they called him? They could have gone for Terry. They could have gone for one manager, pay them a lot of money, say, okay, let's take our time to discuss. You can say, find a new manager, you be our interim manager for a certain period of time while we do that. But they gave him the opportunity, which was a huge risk. But I think because the structure in the first place prepared him, you can say prepare in the sense that across all levels at the club, the under 20s, I don't know, under 16s, what other one do we have there? They play the same way to make the transition from one of those youth teams to the first team to make it seamless. Even Strasbourg also, to a certain measure, play the same way. Yeah. So let's see. Last 2 weeks, and that's how do you pronounce your name? Cornelius. Okay. Last 2 weeks, I was telling you how Enzo Maresca was inviting unnecessary pressure upon himself. Now, see, his arrogant behavior has gotten him sacked. I'm Cornelius from Ghana. My Ghanaian bro, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining the conversation. I remember what you saying that, but Heston, he wasn't sacked. And I think we've seen plenty of reports suggest he walked, actually forfeited a £14 million payoff, which tells me he already has something in motion. Something in motion, when I say that, I mean probably he already has another job lined up. Could be the Man City job. I don't know. Neto was terrible. I think Garnacho would cook against City. He's a more because he's direct, but I think he doesn't kill attack as much as Neto did. And Neto himself, if I were McFarlane, I wouldn't have started him. He was the only player that spoke publicly about the departure of Enzo Maresca, how the players weren't happy when they heard about it, which tells me that probably he's not going to be. He'd need a break to recover from the departure of the manager. Yeah. So he said left. Yeah, didn't get sacked. I agree. He left, forfeited £14 million payoff, which tells me he has something in motion. He has a plan in motion. For lack of more relatable language, you could say already has a new job lined up, in my opinion. Because that was £14 million. Ooh, not chicken change, really. That's a lot of money. But that's fine. Let's look at Enzo Fernandez's number, and I want us to look at the overall statistics. I think it was Jay in the panelist group that said something. The Man City deserved all 3 points, and I said, absolutely not. They don't. It was a game. You can say overall, a game of two halves, but everything put together, City were lucky not to have lost us at home to us. You could argue, had it not been for the misses, even Cole Palmer missed one. Pedro Neto, I think, missed one, definitely, that I can remember. But there were occasions where I expected him to just put the ball in the box, and he didn't. He didn't play like an experienced player. And I would have preferred the manager, you say, leaving Estevao on the pitch. And yeah, had he taken off, I would have preferred the manager to take off Pedro Neto over Estevao. Excuse me. All right, people, we have 19 lines where you can do a lot better than that. Mod Mana, let me see. Mod Mana getting a lot of education, it's improving. I built in something into it that I'd ask it, tell me what something new you've learned. It was mentioning the behavior of some people in the chat. That's funny though. I didn't mean not in a bad way, just the way they talk when they're in the chat. It was funny. It says something very funny about Nehemiah Fowler. But let me see. What else do we have here? This says people are saying that Maresca misprofiles players. If you understand football, these such thing as you can say playing players out of position. I think that's what you're referencing. Misprofiling, you could argue before signing. That happens before signing. That's my opinion anyway. We see things differently. But wait till you see Rosenior. I think you mean playing players out of position. Modern football. For example, he played the lap at right wing when he was at Hull City. Don't be surprised if you see him playing Neto at wing back and James as centre back. Yeah. Yes, then. I'm not gonna debate with you. I've moved on since the time of Jose Mourinho. I moved on. I don't argue with that player again is played out of position or not. Modern football, anything you can, the man. I don't know how else to say this. I think Chelsea fans started complaining about players being played out of position, not necessarily paying attention to the application, how that player applies themselves on the pitch. For instance, the case of when Thomas Tuchel played Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the right wing position. The people weren't paying attention to how he applied himself on the pitch, how he fulfills that role. It's the level wing the position it's just wing. It's just the level. Wing back in that case was just a level. The way he applies himself, mainly just overloading the midfield area and occupying pockets of spaces here and there. He didn't operate as a traditional wing back. But people weren't paying attention to that. You could argue down to the lack of understanding of football, really. New season, new problem. When will it end? It ends next season. We'll be competing for the title. Remember, I said that, and I'm not joking. I disagreed with Vance when he said this season we're gonna surprise a lot of people. I said we're not gonna win it. We'll do well, but we're not gonna win it. We still have the chance to actually win 3 more trophies that we can win. Actually, yeah, the Champions League and the other 2 cup games are. What's it called? Domestic cup games. Palmer and Neto missed 2 good opportunities. Palmer was absolute horse shit yesterday, and he's been like that for a while. Either way, he's no more at our club. He's gone. I still love him. I'm not gonna stop liking him. I think he's an excellent tactician and can only become better. I'm just pissed, and my belief is that he used us to polish his resume, and now he's moved on. I don't want to hear nonsense about a coach playing players out of position. While we all know coaches do that, our fans cooked Enzo Maresca for that. It cooked Thomas Tuchel for that too. That's more than football for you. And if you're a footballer, you're not able to play multiple positions or to fulfill multiple roles on the pitch. You better go find a store in a farmer's market. Like Gusto, he's a natural wing back. Is being used as a 10. He's not being used as a 10. He pops up in the number 10 position, which means we have a lot. Pay attention to what happens. He pops up there, he occupies the pocket there, and we have like 6, 7, 8 players at the same time occupying the opposition box. But of course, people don't pay attention to when he does that, and he helps us win games. Except when we lose games, that's when people start complaining, why is it popping up there? But that doesn't necessarily mean he's playing the number 10 role. What's happening to Palmer hasn't recovered fully. But before one thing I want to say again, And I've been screaming that for a few months now. Do not expect to see the Parma we experienced under Pochettino. The moment that starts happening again, it's not a good sign. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's still one of our best players. But you're not going to see that Parma we experienced under Pochettino. Why? I'm going to repeat myself once more. Maybe I'll help educate people to understand why that will never happen. We're more of a unit than we were under Pochettino. We have a team now. At the time, we had a team, but not necessarily a unit. Everything we do at the time under Pochettino, so chaotic that in every game, Parma had multiple hero moments and he exploited them effectively. That's not to say he's a bad player, but it's no longer about him at Chelsea, which means you might experience that, but if you start seeing the Parma we experienced under Pochettino, take a step back. Remember, I tell you this, then something isn't quite right. Then we're falling apart again. Yeah. Nothing is happening to him. It's just that we're more of a unit than we were under Poch. Plus, he's not fully fit at the moment. He's still recovering. It looks like he's lacking in confidence too. I see him when he plays good. There, but I would prefer to see someone like Enzo in that position. There's no reason to play Gusto there. He's not playing there. He just pops up there. I don't see a game where we started and Gusto, you can say, is starting as a 10. No, he just pops up there. He has, you can say, I think it'd be accurate to say he has a free role. His job, you can say, his primary responsibility to always complete the triangles whenever we have the ball to ensure we all, again, at any given point in time in the game, we have numerical advantage over the opposition. Yeah. Like Enzo in that position, there's no reason to play. We're not playing him there, and I think I've explained that. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. So let's look at Enzo Fernandez. And he's still 24. Wow. All right, he played 90 minutes, 1 goal, assist, no, 0 assists, 3 shots in total. Accurate passes, 25 out of 33. That's 76%. Not bad. Chances created, 2. Expected goals 0.95, so he outperformed his XG. Expected goals on target 1.66. Expected assists 0.36, lower than usual. Yeah, and fantasy point, we don't need that. Defensive contributions 16. He was excellent defensively. And if you haven't rewatched that game, I urge you to go rewatch it. And then you see how well he did in that game. Then shots on target 2 out of 3, 67%. Big chances missed 1. Touches of 55 in total. Touches in opposition box of 4. Successful dribbles of 0 out of 3 attempts. That's definitely bad. Passes into the final third 1. Accurate long balls 2 out of 5. Poor than usual. Non-penalty XG 0.95. Tackles 7 in total. Clearances 3. Interceptions 1. Recoveries 5 in total. Dribbled past twice. Ground duels 7 out of 14. Not bad. That's more than 50%. So still not bad. So he was good. Really, he did well. And yes, then something else I want us to look at is the overall statistics for both teams. Like I said, Jay, my bro, said Man City deserved the 3 points, and I was like, absolutely not. And we'll look at the numbers, and I think numbers will justify my response to that particular comment. But let's see. Enzo is playing injured. Yes, still, yeah, exactly. He's still carrying an injury. Yet his form barely drops. He
Coach, I'm
runs
going
more.
to go and make a coffee because.
All right, Bobby, we'll have, again, if you don't come back, we'll have a show in the morning. So which means I'm going to try and round off this as soon as possible.
Okay.
Much love to you, brother. And remember, we have a giveaway for our panelists, so be paying attention. It's not going to be public.
I thought you've already given that away.
No, the one I gave away is the winner of the predictions on our web app.
All right. Okay.
Dante won it. He predicted most games accurately.
Are you sure you're going to have a morning show? Because your camera
Yeah, I
looks.
will. I will. I'll
Yeah.
run the as soon as possible. And
Right.
it looks like my wife will be at home tomorrow because she walked all night last night. So
All right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Bamfordino.
All right,
Yes,
bro.
sir. Good
All
night.
right, all right. He should have left that free kick. Which one is that? Where am I? He says Enzo is playing injured, yet his form barely drops. Palmer's form is on the ground like our standard. Yeah, he's on the ground. Really. He shouldn't have. Okay, Enzo should play in the free role. Gusto doesn't have the same vision. He doesn't, but you don't seem to understand why Gusto operate like that. Gusto might find the space, but 99% of the time he doesn't do anything in the spaces. Enzo is playing a deeper role, but he should be more advanced. His thing about Enzo, forget how Maresca used him. Enzo's strongest tool, or most effective tool, I'm not sure how else to phrase it, is his vision. The more he sees the pitch, the more effective it be. That's not to say the closer he plays to the final third that he's not going to be effective, but because his vision is his strongest tool, the deeper he plays, the more effective it be in terms of controlling the game, or you could say call it dictating the pace of the game, or helping bypass. You could say beating the press and all of that. So he should be playing deep in my opinion. But everything comes down to how Rosenior would want to be using him. By the way, Coach, I've just written down on my book of accountability that you said we are tactic on this. Yeah, I'm not gonna take that back. That's how I operate. I said we weren't. I said we were gonna finish in top four last season, even when people were thinking that was it. We did. But this season, I said we're not in the title race, and I knew we weren't, and which was why I told people that I haven't seen anything that surprised me this season. Maybe a lot more than I had expected. I'd say yes. I rate Gusto, but I didn't agree with how Maresca used him. He's better as a wing back. Yeah, I think he's good at it. Maresca is Maresca, and I don't think he plays again in the manner that Enzo Maresca utilized him under Rosenior. So look at the overall statistics here. They had more possession, of course, and if we played the way we played in the second half, I think the possession you can argue. I think it'd be a lot more closer. Look, it's something around 50-50, but that's by the way. But here's the thing: the first half, as McFarlane explained, that they did set up in a different manner, differently than they had that they expected them to set up. So that made it difficult for us to start maybe play our way. So until he made changes in the second half, then yeah, it worked. So total shots they had 14 shots. We had 8 shots. Shots on target they had 3 shots on target. We finished with 3 shots on target. So pay attention to why I told Jay that no, they didn't deserve the 3 points. We created big chances. They created 0 big chances. Yeah, we missed 2 big chances. We did put one away, and they didn't miss any big chances. So it was, you can say, a game of they played better in the first half. But yeah, look at it. XG 1.85 to DAS 1.02. So we could have actually won this game. But yeah, because listen, chances are, like as I told Bobby, maybe they came into the game with high confidence that they were definitely beating us, knowing that yeah we were in crisis, but we shocked them in the second half. Tasty Blue says Palma, Enzo, and Estevao can play together. They don't work enough. You say, is it can or cannot play together? They don't work enough. I reckon a midfielder of Enzo, Caicedo, and Sanchez will be physical enough and will be really good. I think we'd see 3 of them on the pitch. Palma and Estevao can still play, but they're gonna you say having 3 of them on the pitch will create a lot of work for our defenders. Yeah, so I agree. Let's see on the on the poll that asked the question 1-1 at City, what's the move for the board? Appoint Rosenior now 43%. Let McFarlane cook 20%. Hire a world class coach 37%. McFarlane, we've heard he will be in charge for our next game. Let's see, I think this one. Let's see on Vincent's timeline. Or this one. Yeah, Calum McFarlane will be in charge of Chelsea's game against Fulham, which makes sense in my opinion. And you don't want, you don't want the boys to start going to the process of, you could say, adapting to the manager before that game, because just a few days away. So it's better for them for him to still remain in charge for that game, and then the manager comes in and starts off with a cup game. I think a cup. We have a cup game after that particular game, right? Yeah, I think so. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along. We appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. Let me open my book of accountability. Yes, I see it right there. You said we're getting top 4 and winning the trophy with Maresca. Yep, confidently. You know I did. Thank you for being truthful. I appreciate it, even though I don't like you. Yeah, let's see. A lineup with Neto, the lab of Pedro and Palma will be good enough, and a midfield of Santos Caicedo. If a back 4. Let's see what he does. I think it's a good idea for Liam Rosenior to start this Chelsea career against Charlton. Yeah, or less difficult. You can say more like a preseason for him. I think he's probably gonna go with the first starting 11 to, you can say, try out some things on that day. So give me a second here. I want to beg for likes. The likes, as I reminded you, does go a long way. Let me see if I find it. More likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Let me try something here. Ooh, why isn't okay? There you go. I want to check something. If Mod Mana, the debate team. Let me try and search the message. Debate. Okay, I see this one. So I want to check if a feature works. Jeez. All right, let me try that now. I've refreshed it. Let me see if it works. If it doesn't work, I might have to try it again. Okay, let's see. Let me see if Mod Mana will start a debate with me. All right, let's see what this Tebejo says. Tebejo says, I know a lot about Calum because I was at Chelsea under 21 games. Okay, you watched it. Okay, he's a good manager. Probably the reason why they trusted him. And as he said, what is this? As he said, he likes the culture of the club, which means he likes the fact that they give people a chance. Usually, when an employee says that, it's because there's a path for them to get promoted if they. Sorry, I'm testing a new future here. So let me see. Okay, all right. Guys, I'm just thinking about how we need to get back to them winning ways in it, a proper Chelsea spirit. Trying to sound British, but I don't think he hasn't responded to my he hasn't responded to my He hasn't responded to my what's it called? To my debate invitation. But give me a second, let me take care of something here. More likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 23 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. And we'll be streaming for 2 hours, 15 minutes. I think we can do a lot better than 23 likes. Give me a second. Ruben Amorina. Jesus Christ, he played them. And it was funny to read that thing where they said, yeah, he's working, live in Carrington, he and his staff, and laughing. I could not believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Okay, loading.
For him to have done that press
Yeah, go
conference,
ahead.
and also he's taking this cool, I strongly believe there is a job out there for him already.
Possibly, might
Yeah,
not be, but he looked cooked.
yeah, and for like his stay at Manchester United was erroneous in the first place because he came in January when Ten Hag had already messed up and the team needed a very a total cleanup. I told somebody that the time he's coming in is going to be a big problem because he could
Man,
have
there was no
waited.
the time. There was no time that he looked like he knew what he was doing at United.
Oh no, but honestly, if he had gone in during the summertime, he would have gotten some players because when he went in, there were some players already, and there was no way he could have changed anything. So he could have stayed till maybe summertime and just accept the job. Because when things are bad like that and you go in right away, you're going to hurt yourself. That is what happened, and he never recovered until he got fired. So in a way, I don't think he's that tells you that sometimes every condition comes with how you're going to perform in any football club. Because when he was at Lisbon, he was
Mm.
cooking, So what's changed? And all of a sudden,
I
he's
mean,
not
the
really.
Premier League is a different animal. I think we know that.
Yeah, you can argue that, but it's not. If he's succeeding in some other places, obviously he should be able to come in and do something. That
Mhm.
shows you that something is not right at Manchester United, which they've not been able to solve in all these years, and everything is
Look,
getting
they
bad.
signed a lot of players for him, really.
Yeah, you sign a lot of players, but if you sign Mbuema and Cunha, how good are they? Like let's not forget these guys were coming from Wolves and Brentford. You understand? You need to sign some quality players. I don't rate them that high. Cunha and Mbuemo. I don't really rate them high. Those were not the kind of players Manchester United, especially if you look at their history and tradition. I guess they are one of the worst strikers they've ever signed. You can put on Rooney, Van Nistelrooy, Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, and all those players over the years. There
Mhm.
was no way Cunha would have made it in the first 11 if Sir Alex Ferguson is around. You understand? Ever since Ferguson left, I think they didn't prepare for that. And ever since he left, they've not been able to, you know, see the light. Everything is a big mess. And their owners are also like on another level. That even make I rate our owners because if you look at the Glazers, they've really caused harm to Manchester United. And all the players they are playing right now at Manchester United, if Sir Alex Ferguson was around, the only player he would have made the first 11 could have been maybe Bruno, Casemiro, and who else? If you look at the squad, they don't really have some quality players. That is the only thing. But since they are playing for Manchester United, well, a lot of people might think they are really good. But Manchester United right now is like an old soldier. Probably they were good before, but now they are not like the Manchester United we all know. It's really bad. And I don't know who they are going to bring in, but I heard them saying they are going to go for Bizerbi, and a lot of people have also mentioned Enzo Maresca. So that's good. Go get Enzo Maresca, and by by May he will be gone. So I mean, Manchester United right now looks so bad, and I don't know what will happen. To be honest with you,
Yeah, let's see who they hire. Let's see. And Tasty Blue says, with Rosenior probably going to be listening more to the board. Don't be surprised if Hato, Achimbongu, Esugo, George all get more minutes because Maresca was reluctant to use them in the league. That may well be the case, but let's see what happens. I'd be happy if those players you just mentioned start playing a lot more games. Banfadiho, yeah, he's still here. I think Banfadiho isn't, and he's based outside Africa, just like me. So the timing is good for him, probably after work. So let me see if this debate thing works. I haven't seen anything. What else do we have here? Manchester United signed a lot of attacking players and left the DM role. Some as Liverpool. I think they have players capable of fulfilling the DM role effectively, but Amorim for some reason don't like them. Ugarte can fulfill the DM role. They still have the old Brazilian guy, uh,
Casemiro,
Casemiro. They still have even the
Kobe
kid,
Manu,
the Englishman. He's
Kobe
capable
Manu.
of fulfilling the DM role.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they have like three players that are capable of fulfilling the DM role. It's just that, yeah, it didn't work for him, and he wanted a way out, in my opinion. And there's no way I'm gonna say this again. My bro Ankit in the chat said that they lied to him. I don't think they lied to him. He knew what he was getting into. It's just that he couldn't perform. Was busy scapegoating players left, right, and center. Enzo Maresca wouldn't go to United. He won't. I don't think he even they wouldn't want to hire him because they, let's say, because a lot of people, how they see the Enzo Maresca situation is that he was whining too much and he was calling out his bosses in public, and that led to him getting fired. If they fired Amorim for that same reason, why would they go for a manager that did the same thing? But I think Enzo Maresca, he had
Maresca. The only thing he should pray is maybe there will be a bounce back for Man City. They are able to win the league this season and also maybe make it to the Champions League final. And after that, Pep will say, "Okay, enough is enough. I'm leaving." Then he will get a job. Apart from that, maybe I see him going to Italy or, and you might never know. He could switch comes to the red, although he belongs to the blue side, but he could still go to Manchester United because some of these coaches sometimes Mourinho was the special one in Chelsea, but for him to have joined our greatest enemies, he'll tell you that it doesn't really matter if they are here, yeah. If they've done something with us, yeah. But they can join any football club that they want. And don't be surprised, he will be considered for the Manchester United job. Currently, they are saying they need a caretaker coach, and they've mentioned their former player Soje. And I think that was the mistake they made previously by letting
wait.
Soje,
They're mentioning Solskjaer.
yeah, Ole Gunnar Soje, because you remember he left in a way me I didn't like it because when
I
he
wouldn't
was
come
here,
back. I can't just come back to be a caretaker manager. I'd say if you're not giving me the
well,
job, F it.
maybe he's coming in as caretaker and continue as substantive coach, because if you look at the track record, he was getting results when he was here. At least the results were not bad. He was getting top four, and he was also winning some games. But ever since he left, probably they've rectified the mistake and they think he will be the right person. I think he might be the right person because he knows the football club very well. He knows everything, and he's also technically good. So why don't you give the job to him so that he will correct all the mistakes that have gone on over the years. So I mean, that is the situation right now. And Manchester United is a team where you go and you fail, you might probably not be recovering anytime soon. Most managers who came here and were not able to succeed have ended up in some, minor teams, and some of them are not even in any, role right now. So I'm worrying. I don't know what's next for him.
Um, chances are, again, he has something lined up. We don't know, but we will
Maybe
find out. Yeah, we'll
the
see.
Premier League. I'm just trying to look at the team that is not doing that well. That might go in for him, or maybe the Bundesliga. But it seems like right now there is no vacancy anywhere. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe he'll go back to Portugal. Who knows? Yeah.
Possibly. You never know. Let's see. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And he says, Casimiro and Duarte. I'm glad we dodged the Duarte bullet. Remember when PSC, I think they were threatening reporting us to FIFA, or where they threatened to report us to FIFA or something. I can't quite remember what happened at the time. I want him to go to Juventus, he um so he has two options. This is why I told people Enzo Maresca will leave at the end of the season. Yeah, I think I suspected that. You did suspect that too, because he was unhappy with certain things. I wouldn't say he was unhappy. My conclusion, and as I've said before, and I'm not going to change that. I think he joined Chelsea just to, yeah, in my opinion, just to you said
Transit.
polish his resume, and he's done that now. So it is by Felicia, in my opinion. And I'm not going to say.
That was the transit. Like everybody should know that Maresca is vying for the.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
Say that again.
No, you said something, but I didn't hear you.
I said Maresca is vying for the City job because he knows one day if Pep Guardiola is not there, at least I was able to win something with Chelsea Football Club, Club World Cup. Winning coach. It's a big thing on the CV, and he's so hopeful. But don't forget, Pep Guardiola is somebody who enjoyed doing whatever he's doing. It will surprise you that he could just stay on in the next 2 years and you still be out of job. So me, I probably think he might go to Italy or Manchester United. It's more likely because if he's looking for Pep to step down or leave the club and that position will be given to him, I don't know how long he has to wait for. But it seems Pep is not leaving anytime soon.
Now, Pep looks like he's set to leave Man City, but he will want to leave on a high.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I actually thought he was. You remember that period when they lost a lot of games
That
in
when
a
they were
row?
losing a lot of games,
Yeah.
people thought that hey, it's all over for Pep,
But he
this
ended
and
up
that.
signing a new contract.
So you think this season he might say, "Yeah, it's enough. I'm leaving." I
Uh,
doubt.
Especially if the season ends well with him, he
That's
will run.
that's what I'm saying. If
Yeah,
he's able to win the league and go to
yeah. He's
Champions
won
League
them the
final,
Champions League. He's won them the Champions League. Won them the Super Cup. Won the Premier League like 1,000 times. I think probably he.
unless
Yeah.
unless maybe someone come calling, maybe the US national team will fire Pochettino after the World Cup and say, hey, we need a national team coach. Because if Pep should take the US team with the talent that are coming up in the US national team, I think he can emulate Klinsmann, Jürgen Klinsmann's track record. So if he's leaving City anytime soon, then maybe there is some international role somewhere for him to just walk in and go do that. But apart from that, it will be very difficult for him to just live without getting a new thing to do in his career. That's what I see it. So good luck to Enzo Maresca. I think whatever he was trying to do just backfired, and I there is no way I will trust that guy anywhere. You know, there is no way I can trust him because the way he was trying to leave our football club was bizarre, and nobody does that. It's really, really, really unfortunate. But I think we cannot, underestimate whatever he won with us. But all we
No,
can say,
I'm not taking that for granted. I
yeah, he
think if
really
I
did well
supported him,
that shot. Yeah.
I had a lot of people block me because of him. One moron called me a sucker, which he was before me. I would have,
Why, like some Chelsea
yeah,
fans, I don't know what is wrong with them. This is a game, one big family, then people take it to the extreme. That is one
yeah. No,
crazy
you
thing.
must agree with them. Otherwise,
Oh no,
they don't want to talk with you.
that
Yeah,
that is crazy. You can't do
yeah.
that all the time.
And Chimera, just quickly, I want to say thank you for all the gifts. Jesus Christ, how many? 250 euros, 650 euros, 100 euros, 800 euros. I appreciate that, bro. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And it looks like you're about to go to bed, but thank you. Let's see. Tobago is saying bands out because he,
Hey,
Tobago, you know
Tobago,
you don't like the man. You don't like you don't. I like the man more than you.
he said he said it's going to be war this year, so we should get ready for him.
Yeah.
Oh, Tobago,
Well,
interesting.
thank you so much. I appreciate that, brother. I cannot thank you enough. We'll go a long way. This other news here, we'll still go news hunting before we call it a day. There's an update from there was an update from Fabrizio Romano. I don't know if Vince have it. I'll check to see whether he's gotten it, but I'll let that one load while I read this one here. No, 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 no. I wanted to let me see. Let that one stay there. Let me open it from this. But I wanted to read this report here. This one here, which reads Chelsea held talks with Liam Rosenior today. Talks are going well and continue. Ah, shoot. Yeah, they're already gone before I clicked the back button. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go
But
a long
Kochi,
way. Yeah.
is he coming with his team, or he'll probably get some new staff around him? Because I was thinking that since I know Thiago Silva recently joined FC Porto, but he need a senior figure at our football club, and it would be good idea he can consider maybe Mike Lassian, who is really doing good with Norgeland in Denmark. He finishes license and everything. He's now assistant coach at Norgeland in Denmark. And also, Thiago Silva, if he is in the dressing room with him, sometimes it can help. Maybe we can just buy him from his contract at FC Porto. He has his kids here, and it
Mhm.
seems he has something for Chelsea. All because all the clubs he played in Europe, Chelsea was the only team that was able to, brace his, career with the Champions League,
You said
title.
two of the biggest, two of the
Yeah.
biggest club trophies.
Yeah, so I think if he can bring one of those guys with him, I don't know who he's going to bring with him, but obviously you need those figures in the dressing room, and
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it will help
I
in a
said
way.
what is more possible is JT.
Yeah,
Still
JT, I
not.
don't know, is he available?
He might be. He
Yeah,
has.
he's also not a bad
He's
figure.
earned his coaching license. Was an assistant coach to who was it again at the time at Aston Villa, and they did well together.
Yeah,
Maybe he's not that interested. I don't know because
JT really loves Chelsea, and I don't think he will turn down any offers for him to be around. If you have JT around, that will also help. But I don't know if he's really available. But Rosinia, I think as I told you, he has been with Fulham for a very long time, so he got that kind of experience, and maybe he can command the dressing room. But you also need a figure in our football club who
let's
the
see what
boys
he
will see.
does.
Yeah,
JT might want to be part of it, but let's see. And I think JT could be the cheat code for him. I think who used that title? But let's see what he does. He's a smart guy. He's a very good
Hmm.
man manager. Speaks very well.
Yeah,
I think he'd be able to actually convince players to buy into his idea, given that he's a very, very good speaker. Honestly.
yeah.
All right, more likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation. It's still 7:36 p.m. my time. I think we'll be running off soon, but we have to go news hunting. This is interesting. We are on my bros timeline, of course, Vince, and this reads: This one should keep quiet before they sack him. Too. Sporting directors are very angry in 2026. I think I agree. It looks like it looks like Anna Slot is gonna it's gonna leave. This is very, very funny. So exclusive civil war at Liverpool.
Season ends in
What's
terms
it the
of the
cash in terms of managers?
managers. Who do you think will
Um,
get sacked?
here's
I
why
suspect
I'm a bit skeptical that Liverpool that they're going to fire what's his name Slot.
Slot.
They made a lot of changes, and it's only sensible to give him time for the new signings to gel. Here's where I think maybe something that might be an issue if he was the one you can say that requested the signings,
Mm,
then he has a much bigger problem in his hand. But if they signed, you can say if they made majority of the decisions and just asked them, would you again, are you going to be able to work with this certain player, this these players? And he said yes. Then not much of an issue for him. But
mm.
I'm not too concerned about him because it's common sense. When you make that many changes in football, you're bound to struggle to a certain measure.
And I strongly believe if Arsenal are not able to win anything this year, they might sack Arteta. That's how I feel.
They will sack him, and it's still a possibility that they might end up not winning anything this year
And even Thomas
because
Frank
they're
job,
just 6 points ahead of ahead of
yeah,
Man City,
City. Yeah, and
right?
even Thomas Frank, I think he's also should be very careful because the results hasn't been that good, especially with the kind of players they signed during the summer. If the results are not coming good, I think his job is also really at risk. So maybe we're going to see another casualty before the season ends. Who knows? But
Ooh, Manchester City are interested in signing Mark Guehi.
oh yeah, I heard that story.
Yeah, from Fabrizio Romano, Manchester City wanted to sign Mark Guehi in January as talks started. Initial approach made. He's on the short list as um, Sami Mokbel of BBC reported. Wow, interesting. And then for Rosenior, he says here that Liam Rosenior are on the verge of being appointed as new Chelsea head coach this week. Confirmed positive meetings in the last 24 hours in London with Chelsea hierarchy in agreement at final stages. RC Strasbourg to name new head coach as soon as next key step. So it's happening.
And I think
Yeah.
why
So
why is it
Guehi
that
will end up at
Semenyo's
Man City.
why is it that Semenyo's move to City has cool off? Like I think he was on the verge of signing for City, and all of
It
a
could
sudden,
still happen.
say that again.
It could still happen. Maybe
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
all of it. Me, I strongly believe that wasn't the best decision for him. I spoke with somebody because even it would have been better for him to join Chelsea than to join City because if you go to City, there is no way you're going to get enough playing time, especially during the World Cup season, and you might end up even losing your position at the national team. And he has to think about that. Look at Mamush when he came. He was the darling boy. He got enough time, and as time went on, he's fading out. That's City for you. If you are unable to
I
walk
mean,
into the
that's Pep.
first,
He does know how to sign tons of players, and in a few seasons, some of them in under one season discard them.
yeah, because if you look at Grealish with Semenyo, and you have to argue who is the best, it will be a mess debate. It might be 50-50, but yet they got rid of Grealish. So
But
why do you
Grealish
think?
is more of, you could say, I
Mhm.
don't know. Irrespective of how they differ, I think the point we're trying to make here is Pep. He knows how to sign players like left, front, and back, and then discard them easily.
Yep.
Yeah, because the money is there. You know.
Yeah, it's not the best, decision for him. And honestly, he should just think about it and go to a team where he will get something all week. For. Yep.
So Rio Ngumoha, I think he'd be regretting leaving Chelsea now. And had he been patient, you could argue he'd be playing a lot more now. But he was in a hurry, felt like he had to leave Chelsea. Andrea Sanchez says that what I can guarantee is that regardless of the coach, this squad will always give everything on the pitch. We will fight to put Chelsea at the top of the table. We know our potential. I think we have a good squad. It's not perfect, but we do have a good squad. Andrea Santos, today against City, I played deeper with more defensive duties. That's because City are a team that keep the ball a lot in attack. I am happy I did well. He was excellent. I think you could say you naming him, picking him as your man of the match, not a bad idea because he changed the game single handedly. You could argue. Andrea Sanchez on his performance against City, it's a double happiness, whatever that means. Because of the result we achieved and also my performance, it was one of the best games I've had at Chelsea. I have to agree. As I always say, I am available to play in any position that helps the team. I think he's going to be playing a lot more. We're going to do, no need to give away anything. We'll be doing the winners and losers. That's what we have for the Blue Morning Show tomorrow. But he's one of the biggest winners because Rosenior loves him, and rightly so. And I expected him to play a lot more under Enzo Maresca, but for some reason Maresca wasn't actually playing him. As you said, he knew what he was doing, but I don't want to accuse him of that. I still love him, but dang it, he annoyed me. Um, but yeah, you know why. Let me see what else do we have here. And much more anything to turn on. I'm coding at the same time. I'm seeing errors in mod manners. I'm trying to fix them because yeah, those in the chat are helping train it. So let's see what else do we have here. Andrea Santos here. Not much has emerged actually. It's an African Cup of Nations. Niger beating, is it Mozambique? It was actually a much stronger side. It wasn't even close. I think in the next game they might meet a much stronger side.
Yeah. Something pop up, and I think it's becoming like frequent of Osimhen, and that's why I'm so happy Osimhen is not coming to Chelsea, or we shouldn't even try to buy the guy. I'm not going to demonize him
Hmm.
for him be a bad person, but I think if you are in a team, you always have to show a teamwork, regardless of, even sometimes you'll be playing game with somebody, the person is not really doing good. Being a senior figure, you have to encourage those people. He has something going on with Lookman, and this is not the first time Usman is, putting something like that for everyone to see. How you always get into it with your coaches, getting into it with your teammates. He's a talented football player, but let's not forget that if you continue to do something like that, the
Hmm.
opportunity will come, but because of that behavior, no one is going to bring you to their football club. Just imagine you come to Chelsea and you are doing something like this with the opposing side. You are going to cost us a lot of games, and this is something he has to work out, and they need to talk to him. People who are close to him need to sit him down, and he shouldn't make things about himself. You understand? You are a fantastic player. You are very good. But whenever you are in a team, you have to behave like a team player. If someone is not doing good or someone is doing something, you just don't.
You
Yeah,
ginger them, as Niger would say. You say encourage them. You know.
exactly. But the way he's doing things, he might not be able to get something like Real Madrid will say, "Oh, this guy is good." Somebody will be like, "Oh no, we don't want him here because he has like that kind of behavior. We cannot manage it, and you are going to miss so many opportunities." So he's so young, he can achieve so many things over the years. So he has to be very careful, and he has to be controlling his temper. It's really, really bad, and I don't like the fact that you are in the same team with people and something will go on and you will be fighting with your teammates. Things don't like one game, for instance. I think your game against Benin or some team, he was so mad with everybody. He didn't want to talk to anybody, and he was showing that arrogance on the field of play. If I'm a manager, if I'm a team manager, I would say no, I can't take this thing. I will just take you out of the team. I will let you go back to your base, and I will make sure you have changed before I will bring you into something to bring you into my team. Because if you are in a team and always you'll be having problem with your teammates and will be causing problem, I don't think that is the best way to go. He has to, you know, be careful because he's a very talented player, and because of that character, he might not be able to go far with his career.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
was going to ask you, what do you make of Philip Jorgensen's performance? He was good yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah,
didn't.
one excellent save.
Yeah. Jorgensen is also another player who didn't. I mean, his time at Chelsea wasn't bad. He was our Conference League goalie, and
And did
but
well. Did well
yeah,
in the
he did
finals.
well
Yeah.
yesterday. Somebody was like, because Sanchez was not around, that is why we were able to get a draw. A lot of people sometimes, underestimate Sanchez, all because of his previous, errors and other stuff. But I don't think Jorgensen made any error. Like he was distributing the balls really good. There was a ball he gave it to João Pedro, but I think he couldn't, utilize it. And his distribution was very good yesterday. And I think if the new coach comes in, he's somebody they also have to look at his performance and give him more playing time. I think he did well yesterday. Yeah. But yesterday,
I
like
was
Delap,
happy with the last performance. Go ahead.
yesterday the way he showed up yesterday, I was so like surprised. And that is why I always tell Chelsea fans, if you are here and you really love the football club, you need to do one thing regardless of players performance. Sometimes it sucks, but don't go out there attacking them on their social media and everything. There were some people who were saying Enzo out some years back. Some people were saying Enzo Fernandez out.
I mean,
They
that
were-
that was down to lack of understanding of. I don't want to insult anybody. You could say football, or maybe you say the sort of or his profile. Maybe um, he's always been good. Maybe
yeah, like
sometimes
people.
struggled for multitude of reasons. But go ahead, what you're
The,
saying.
the, the fans sometimes, I don't know what is wrong. Like those who always say a player should be out, those are the people who will celebrate them more than those who even gave them the support. And it's quite like interesting. There was a time we nearly took Kukureya to Manchester United. I think last year or
Yeah,
so.
under our ex Pochettino.
Yeah, they nearly sent him to Manchester United. Sometimes they need to exercise patience for these boys and know that any player that has come to Chelsea is not a bad player, just that they find themselves in some circumstances and they will not be doing well. And it happens to players everywhere. And they have to be careful the way they criticize the players sometimes. You need to criticize them constructively. But some of these Chelsea supporters will let you believe that these players are crap. They don't know anything. Somebody was even saying that the love is better in the ring more than on the football field. Can you imagine? And it's rather unfortunate. But I hope they will learn sometimes and know their duties as fans and support some of our players because without them, we don't have any team. And without us, there is no way they can perform on the field of play.
Yeah, if you're in the chat, if you have any questions, drop it. We will try to address it. And remember, if you want us to answer your question, do not ask any difficult questions. Otherwise, we will pretend we cannot see it. We'll be rounding off soon, but we're going news hunting now to see if anything new emerged. And Liam Rosenior will hold a Strasbourg press conference tomorrow morning in the press room at the Stade de la Menus. How you pronounce it? Yeah, clown is now. Yeah, we've read that. Michael Regis, I think the big turning point of the game was Liam Delap. Yeah, he was awesome, really. I thought his runs in behind, especially seeing it high up at the stadium, it just pushed a City a little bit back, and then City didn't really know what to do. I thought he was going to start because if you remember, if you watched, was it the Sunderland game? How the Sunderland number 9 was bullying the Man City defense. I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
You talking
And
about bro? You talking about Brian Brobe?
is that what is that's his name?
Yeah, Brobe. That guy
Yeah.
is an
He
experienced.
bullied them, and
That
that led to
that guy
City
used to play for
struggling.
Ajax and went to other places. He's like that guy. I don't know why some of these players can't even join Chelsea. If you play the slightest mistake, he's going to score you. He's very intelligent player. And look at the way he destroy us when we play with them. He's really dangerous. Yeah, so I mean,
He bullied them. They weren't able to play, and I thought, yeah, the lad could do such too. Uh,
like the Premier League, you need look at Brentford, um, number 9 right now, Igor or whatever his name is. That guy play like Diego Costa, and he's getting a lot of goals. That is the kind of attacker we've been missing all these years. Look at Drogba, the way Drogba used to bully defenders. Look at Diego Costa. All of them used to bully. Even Anelka. Anelka used to bully defenders. We need somebody like that. And the only person who can do that with the stature and everything is the lab. He got everything, so he has to be more lethal up front, and I think he will make history with the football club. He shouldn't listen to all the bad comments and everything. He's still a wonderful player. He should go out there, do whatever he want to do, and succeed with our football club. I don't think he's really bad, but if he get a system that will help him develop, trust me, he's going to bang in the goals, and people should just exercise patience for him. Drogba first season at Chelsea was very, very bad, but as time went on, he became one of our greatest, strikers. So people would have to give him time. He's just been here for a year or so, and he need that time to, develop. And I think he will come out clean in the near future. Trust me.
yeah, when Rooney singing incoming manager praises, interesting. Rooney here says, let me see. Says when Rooney explains Rosenior's strength as a coach, details of coaching and how he works, and his work ethic is incredible. So I don't see there be any issues with dealing with top players. I just think his detail is top. So he knows how to get his points across effectively. I think he's a top coach. Look, I trust him. But I'd still say I felt like at first I felt like yeah, a bit too early for him. But I think he'd do well if they're gonna give him time to. I think he look. We have the tool. I think even the worst manager in world football can come in as long as you select a strong 11, we still win games and scream at them on the touchline. I don't.
Kochi, which of our outcasts would you want them to get the opportunity to work with Rosenior if in case he becomes the coach? All
No,
the players out there
defensive
that have been
outcast.
frozen.
Just a defensive outcast, and you know who. This I see.
Disasi.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I see he's excellent aerially.
Yeah.
Yeah, his biggest problem, uh, um, which led to us knowing at the time that yeah, he'd be one of those that well, you can say that will be dropped, given the fact that as good as he is as a defender, the slightest pressure from the opposition, he makes primary school level mistakes. He can come across as good on the ball if he has the space, if he has enough space to take his time to find who to pass the ball to, he'll be
Mm.
fine. But the
We have so far we
slightest,
have six. We
yeah, the
have six
slightest of
center
pressure, I
backs, and
wouldn't
I
mind him.
know we have six center backs, and I know two of them might leave, which is Disasi and Dawson. I
You
don't
never
know.
know. Rosenio might actually come in, and but I doubt he most likely prefers ball playing defenders, really good ball playing defenders. Um, Even Chalobah, for me, I trust Chalobah in terms of ball playing over the Sassi.
Mm.
Yeah,
But
because
there's
Chalobah
this.
knows how to simplify it. He doesn't leave himself, you could say, um, he doesn't let it get to a situation, to a point where it'd be too risky for him to try to play out from the back. He simplifies his, yeah, he simplifies. You can say his application, doesn't dwell on the ball too much, finds his teammates as soon as possible, and doesn't go for the, you could say, difficult executions, in my opinion.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see what happens, because I feel like he might get the opportunity to relaunch his
I,
career.
I mean, you
Mm.
never know.
But I don't know if Chelsea are willing to keep six center backs. That is another question we need to ask. And let's also not forget Asamino is also somewhere doing so good with Dortmund. It's very dicey, but let's see what goes on. You never know.
You never know, indeed.
Yeah.
More likes, people, more likes. If you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video, or if you have any questions, let us know. And the KB7424 says man of the match in Chelsea versus Manchester City is Ranger Das. Is that how do you pronounce his name?
Randes. I think they pronounce it Randes also. You were talking about the Dutch player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his name is pronounced Randes. Randes, or
Yeah, just
yeah,
give me 1 second. Let me take this call.
sure.
I keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I'm gonna test this in one more time. The reason I haven't ended this is that I'm trying something. I'm trying something with what we have here. Let's see. Trying something out. Training the AI.
Kochi, where are you located? You said you are in Texas.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you were in
it was. I was in
Las
Vegas
Vegas.
last year. Last 2 years. Last
Oh, you were in Vegas in last
I
2
was
years.
I was in Vegas till December 24.
Oh, is it a good place? Because I had some job offers there, and
It's
I
a good
didn't.
place. It depends
Co-
on what kind. If it's a good job, if you're well paid, it's a good place.
yeah, I'm in IT, so
Ah, excellent.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I
It,
wasn't sure about the place.
no. It's a good place.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Let me see 1 second here. All right. Anything, people? Any other thing you want us to talk about before we call it a day? I don't think anything new has emerged.
I think there is nothing. I don't know if they opened the winter, transfer windows, but it seems
It's
like
open already.
oh, okay, but it's very slow.
Yeah, you can say it because we're not hearing much about our club. I
Yeah,
think there might chances are they're looking to sign certain players that we don't know because you can argue they
oh,
found
not even for Chelsea. As I'm talking about in general, like everything
a
is
lot
slow.
is going on, and that's what I'm saying. The reason why you think we aren't doing much is because yeah, we ourselves.
Mm.
No, the reason you think a lot isn't going on is because we Chelsea we're not doing anything currently, or we're
Yeah.
not hearing anything with regards to the club's transfer plans or activities. That's why you're perceiving it as if nothing is happening. But a
Well,
lot is going on. If you go to Fabrizio Romano's
page.
timeline, you see that
Yeah,
yeah,
I
there is a
know.
lot. Even
Crystal Palace,
Barca signed this Man City former Man City
Cancelo,
defender.
Cancelo.
Cancelo, yeah, to
But
sign him on loan, yeah.
what is it about Saudi Arabia? Is it the environment or the lifestyle? Because most of the players always end up after a year. They leave the Saudi league, and I don't know what is going on. A lot of them came back
On
to Europe.
loan, I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't paid attention. It could be, you could say,
Yeah, the culture. Yeah,
culture differences, or family reasons. I'm not sure because yeah,
because the lifestyle you live in Europe, you can't have it in Saudi.
yeah,
It's not going to happen. So
yeah.
obviously, most of them feel bored and they want to come back to Europe. That's that's interesting because I think he was in Saudi for just 1 year or so, just less than a year or two.
Oh, just less than a year.
I think so. I think he or less than 2 years. I don't know if he went there last year or last 2 years. I'm trying to figure it out. I think last 2 years. It was when the Saudis were signing the big names. Kante went, Maxim, that Newcastle guy also went, and I think the Brentford player. What is the guy's name? The guy we were chasing. He also
And
went.
Tone, did we really chase him at the time?
What is that?
You're talking about Tone.
Tony, yeah, Ivan Tony also went December 2014, 2024. Yeah, but I know a lot of the players have come back to Europe, and even Neymar left after 1 year. You know, Hmm. They need to come to the US. Our league is
I
getting
can't.
better.
I
So,
don't even know the last time I watched an MLS
oh,
game.
the MLS is interesting. Oh, Coachie, you need to. I watch these guys Red Bulls most of the time. Since I live in Jersey, most of the time I'll go watch their games.
I like
It's interesting.
Philadelphia Union, probably because yeah, I lived in Jersey too.
Oh, you used to live in Union?
No, I lived in Jersey. I lived in Blackwood, New Jersey before.
Oh, that should be South.
Yeah,
Um,
South Jersey. Yeah.
oh no, I'm in Northern Jersey, Morristown.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
lived
close to.
there, so probably I think I had to go to their camp at the time when I was a friend. I went to their trial.
Oh, okay, Red Bulls, the one in Florham Park.
No, the training. What is it called? Their training. I can't remember what it's called, but that was like in 2016.
Okay, then I think they were in the Red Bull Arena. I don't know because the training facilities in Florham Park, which is about 10 minutes away from where I live. I always see them doing their training mostly in the evenings and midday. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't look like anything new emerged, so I think we should call it a day because plus we're still gonna have the Blue Morning Show. And I appreciate you for finding time to join the conversation, bro. I cannot thank you enough.
Already, Kochi.
Thank you so much.
All the best. Big ups.
Thank you. You too.
Good night.
Yeah, you too. Bye. And yes, people, thank you to all of you that have found time to join the conversation. I want to say thank you to KB7424. Thank you to Tabejo. Thank you to my bro, Shanks. I appreciate you. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you to Vic. Vic was also here. My bro, Ibro, was also here. And Tasty Blue joined the conversation. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly from Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable. Hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable. Hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag fly
off each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing, hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing, hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight